live stream like this, so please bear with me. Let me get this little tripod thing on. All right. Keep it a little light here. Matter of fact, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. All right, guys, this is Aaron the Mogul. I'm reporting to you live from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Yes, this is my second home. I bounce back and forth between Dominican Republic and Philadelphia. So that's the reason why I'm in DR. Now, let's get into the topic of this video. Let's get into what everyone has been talking about as far as the Kevin Samuels situation. Last night, I seen on social media from a couple of hip hop blog sites that Kevin Samuels had passed away. So I don't know if you guys have watched one of his most recent interviews, but one of his most recent interviews that went live was how much does your submission cost? How much does your submission cost? And Wealthy College Kid, aka Christiana Hurt, was the main person being interviewed on there. And she's a personal friend of mine. And when I seen the news of his death, I contacted her immediately, and she told me, she has some inside sources, with the family. Allegedly, because my mother just passed away, and we didn't even know what was the cause of her death until the autopsy. So let's just talk about that, right? Almost no death can get ruled unless it was like an accidental death or something like that without an autopsy. So if he died from natural causes, it's going to take, a few days, not only for the family to get the information, but also for the information to release to the public. Because first and foremost, just releasing someone's health records or medical records online is a violation of HIPAA. That's why you do have to take the things you hear, you know what I'm saying? You gotta take it little by little, because you never know, if it's legit, if it's not. But I confirmed with credible people, Christiana Hurt is one of them, that he passed away from a heart attack. And the reason why this is believable, black men, the reason why this is believable is because that is most likely what's going to kill black men. Right? If you're a black man and you're watching this right now, most likely you're going to die from some type of heart disease or heart attack, or something with prostate cancer, prostate issues, also things like colon cancer, stuff like that. So first and foremost, I just wanted to just talk about that. Just the fact that black men, we have some of the lowest life expectancies, when you compare it to any race. We don't like going to the doctor. I mean, that's men in general. We don't like going to doctors, but black men especially, we don't like going to doctors. A lot of us don't have health insurance, or a lot of us, we're just afraid of bad news. So definitely, fellas, if you're in your 30s right now, you're in your 20s, the things you're doing right now in your 20s and your 30s is what's going to dictate how your body acts and feels 20, 30 years from now. You see, people keep joking about Kevin Samuels drinking all those Red Bulls, and I'm not saying that's the reason he passed away, but I mean, I'm pretty sure nothing positive can come from drinking Red Bulls every day. Almost every interview I seen him do, he was drinking at least 1 to 2, Red Bulls a episode. So, fellas, let's just use this time to draw awareness to our health. This man was at the top of his game. He was making more money than he ever made. He was becoming more famous every day. He became a social media, icon. Even though he was a little infamous from his delivery, I guarantee you his bank account went from this to that in just 2-3 years. So imagine you're at your peak. Imagine everything is just going well for you, and then it's boom, it's over. So that's why you guys have to live like that can possibly be you. Like, you can either be on the top of your game when your day comes, or you could be wasting time. You could be saying what you could have done, you know, stuff like that. So let's just use this time to draw awareness to that. Like, men, what are we doing to be productive? What are we doing to become high value men in this society? Because one thing I will say, right? One thing I will say about Kevin Samuels' delivery towards women, what a lot of people don't realize, he carries that same energy for men. See, you don't ever see men coming at him, oh, well, why are you saying, you know, men that only make $50,000 a year can't raise a family? So let's just dive into some of the things that Kevin Samuels do on his interviews, right? So, for example, he might, all right, let's say, you know, a woman comes on, hi, what's your name, dress size, stuff like that. So let's break that down, right? Let's break that down. When he asks your dress size, right? He's not asking you how much you weigh. He's not asking you, are you ugly or are you pretty? When he's asking you your dress size, he's trying to get a feel for your figure. When he's asking you about your dress size, he's trying to get a feel for your figure. Why is that? Well, if you know men, men are visual creatures. Visual creatures. Let me know in the comments if you agree with that. Men are visual creatures. We could be walking with our wives. We could be walking with our wives, right? We could be walking with our wives, see a big ass, and instantly forget we're walking with our wife and break our necks and look, right? You see, give me 1 second. You see, men, women, they're visual, but they're more emotional, right? Matter of fact, hold on, I'm gonna go live on the gram too. Give me a second, I'm gonna turn this on. All right, what happened to Kevin? All right. So yeah, like I was saying, guys. So when Kevin Samuels, when I was watching his interviews, right? Because I want to look at this from both sides. I want to look at it from the woman's side, and I want to look at it from the men's side, right? So this is me looking at it from the woman's side, right? I watch woman after woman after woman chasing clout decide to go on to Kevin Samuels' platform to ask his opinion about their image. And if you guys did not know this, Kevin Samuels is an image consultant. Now, what is an image consultant? An image consultant is someone that tells you if you're hot or you're not. Pretty much. They'll tell you, hey, you know, based on what's hot right now, your image, that's not it. Let's switch this up. Celebrities hire people like Kevin Samuels all the time to tell them about themselves. That's why he would tell you he had 6 and 7 figure clients, because you'll have these millionaires that's trying to, you know, create this image or protect their image, and they will go to someone like him that would give them the blunt, honest truth. So what he did was he brought that to social media, and he noticed that women wanted the advice more than men did. You see, Kevin Samuels, he was dropping jewels to men for years, but guess what? They wasn't feeling it because, you know, let's just face it, you know, personal development, all that motivational stuff, it attracts more women than it does men, because men, we're arrogant, we think we know everything. Women, they have that's why I see the reason why so many women would get on his live streams, because women by nature, you guys like guidance. You guys like leadership. You like to be led. Sometimes it's not always by the best person, but that's in a woman's nature versus a man. And a man's nature is in our nature to lead. So that's why I seen that Kevin Samuels started to switch over his strategy to focus more towards women. Now, with that being said, right, after the first video that went viral of him calling a girl Fat Shirley, stuff like that, whatever derogatory terms he used, Women could have got together at that moment of time and said, we're not going to support this man. We're not going to get on his platform. Any woman that interviews with them is setting themselves up. But instead of doing that, right? After the first video went viral of him, degrading women and stuff like that, more of you came. That's what I don't understand. Is it like a psychological thing about some women that you like getting grinded up and talked to like shit? Like, I don't know if it's daddy issues or whatever. But ladies, if you know this man is going to call you fat, he's going to tell you that you're old for being over 35 and not married. He's telling you leftovers. He's telling you you can't attract high value men. You know he is going to say all these things. Yet you still get the fuck on there. Hold on. Who else does it sound like? Oh, this sounds like one of my friends that was in an abusive relationship. And as many times as I asked her, yo, you should leave this dude, he's not good for you, she still stayed. So I looked at it like, yo, Kevin Samuels is a man that women chose to be in a social media abusive relationship with. Because he's never like, I just want to just start there. This man never forced any woman against their will to get on his live. So for you guys to celebrate his death, and I'm glad he's gone. All he did was put down black women. Listen, Biggie put down black women in his songs. Tupac, with the same voice, lift black women and at the same time call them bitches and hoes. Everywhere we go, I see the same hoes. But then drop Dear Mama. So rappers can get the pass to do that. Rappers can say, fuck that bitch, fuck that hoe. Is she not exotic? I don't want her. Like, listen to all the shit we hear rappers say. All this shit rappers say. Oh, she ain't exotic. I don't want her. I like yellow bone. Yada, 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 yada. Rappers have been belittling black women since rap was created. But guess what? We made it the norm. We made it the culture. We made it the culture to belittle black women. Why do you think white people, right? White people are so confused that black people can say nigga to each other, but no one else can say it. I even have a hard time explaining that. So with that being said, guys, let's just start on taking accountability for the women who like abuse, for the women that like to be told they're fat. There are women out there that like being put down because that's all they know. And then the women that did not want to get put down, they were chasing clout. Why isn't nobody talking about that? Why isn't anyone talking about the women who went viral off of his lives and turned that viral video into thousands and even millions of dollars? I know a couple of women that went on live with Kevin Samuels and they are now social media influencers, or they was a social media influencer and they just wanted more engagement. See, that's the problem. Y'all don't understand the social media fucking game. Y'all don't understand, what woman wants to be put down? The women that get on the lives. So Keem 19. The women who got on those lives to get put down, did they choose that? After they seen other videos that he did, they chose to do that. So doesn't that mean they want to be put down? Those women who chose to get on there. Because I look at it like you're jumping on Kevin Samuels live for one or two things. Either you wanted him to roast you on the internet, because maybe that stimulates you in some way, or you were clout chasing. You wanted followers. You wanted people to see you. I had multiple friends who got on Kevin Samuels live just so he can troll them and they can go viral. You guys know how many followers Kevin Samuels have? You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta understand that this is all a game. Kevin Samuels chose to play the villain on social media because that's what y'all wanted. Listen, if y'all did not want a villain on social media, right? If I didn't want it, then he wouldn't have got popular. He wouldn't be making millions of dollars. Listen, I wish I could make millions of dollars just by roasting people all day. If I could make money like that, best believe I would. And I wouldn't give a fuck what nobody think. But you guys got to also remember, this social media shit is not real. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. This social media shit is not real. What a lot of these influencers do, once their social media is monetized, see, a lot of you don't understand social media monetization, right? See, the average person on Instagram does not make money on Instagram. Let's just put that out there. The average person, 80-90% of people that are on YouTube, that are on Instagram, they are not making no money on that platform. They are literally the people that are spending money. They are the people who are giving the influencers these engagements, etc. So now you got this 10%, this 5 to 10% of people on social media that is using it to generate income. See, me personally, I don't understand the use of social media if it's not to make income. Let me see. Or they wanted advice. He has some good conversations with people. I don't think. So let me ask y'all a question. Is advice good if it's true or if it feels good? I'm ask y'all a question, right? What makes good advice? If it's the truth or if it makes you feel good? Because what I always heard, the truth cuts like a knife. That's what my grandma always told me. The truth cuts like a knife. And a lot of us, we run away from the truth. How often did you watch him? I consumed more of his content in the earlier stages, but towards like probably the last like couple of months, I haven't really been watching him like that much because, in my opinion, he's just saying the same thing over and over and over again. Let's just cover the key things that Kevin Samuels talks about, right? He tells women, and I want y'all to tell me if I'm lying, because I'm gonna say it in a nice way. I'm gonna say it the way he should have been saying it, right? Do you guys honestly believe that a woman that is over 200 pounds, who does not eat well, who does not take care of herself? I'm not talking about women that have medical conditions, because I seen it all. I seen women with hormone conditions that made them blow up. I seen women on medications that made them blow up. I seen it all. I seen women who just had kids. Avoid all that. We're talking about Fat Shirley, right? Who eats chips and Doritos every day, who does not go to the gym. Like, this is what I don't understand. Why do y'all think the woman, right? I'm gonna give y'all two types of women. Why do y'all think the woman who works out and goes to the gym on a regular basis to keep her body tight? And by the way, guys, going to the gym on a consistent basis is not easy. Let's just put that out there. So you got a woman that works out consistently, keeps herself together, which tells me, wow, if she takes care of herself, then she's probably going to take good care of my children. She eats right. Okay, she eats good to help keep herself slim. Good. So I know if my woman has good eating habits, that would now pass down to my children. See, what you guys have to realize is when we are choosing a woman, we are choosing who we want to potentially procreate with. And we look at all that. Listen, when it comes to men and procreation, some men even look at who your father was. I remember I was dating a woman and her father was like an Olympic gold medalist. So in my head, I'm like, oh, wow, she got some good genes. She's in shape. She's fit. Her dad was an Olympian, whatever, thing he played. So now I'm like, wow, if I procreate with her, it's a higher chance of me having a child that could be an athlete, that could be tall, etc., which is what men want. That's what men want. And that's what, ladies, what you got to understand, that only men can tell you what men want. Stop taking men advice Stop taking advice about men from women, because it's not true. Only a man, I want you guys to repeat after me in the comments. Only a man can tell you about a man. Just like I can't tell y'all about women. I can tell y'all what I think. I can tell y'all my experiences, but I can't sit here and tell you the ins and outs of a woman. Only a woman can do that. I have two daughters. And I still don't understand women completely. But you know what I do understand? I understand men. I understand men. Because guess what? Most of the dudes that y'all want to be with, I'm talking to the females right now. Most of the dudes y'all want to be with, they come to me for fucking advice. They come to dudes like me and Kevin Samuels to ask us, yo, how do we get to that $1 million a year so I can attract that beautiful woman I want? See, that's what you guys got to understand. See, the dudes that y'all want, they're not showing y'all their tax returns and stuff like that. I'm going to tell y'all right now, the average black man, hey, Desi, the average black man, right? Let's just talk about the geographical black men, right? The average black man makes about $40,000 to $50,000 a year. But you know what? Let's just jump up to $60,000 a year, the average black man. So that means pretty much 8 out of 10 black men make about $60,000 or less. Those are the electricians, the bus drivers, the nurses, etc., right? Then you have another small percentage of men that make over 6 figures, right? And what I always challenge women to do is go through their phone book and see how many 6-figure earners they have access to. Then you have an even teeny tinier geographic of black men, which I am happy to say that I'm a part of, that earns or generates over $1 million a year. Now, let me tell y'all something, right? I made over $1 million in 1 year, right? And we're not gonna go into the expenses and stuff like that. That was gross, right? And by the way, check this out, right? I keep myself in shape. So I get money, I keep myself in shape. I'm extremely intelligent. I can articulate myself in many different ways, even in other languages. I traveled to over 20 countries before I was even 30. I'm not saying any of this to brag. What I'm saying is, why do y'all think a man like me wants a woman that's weighs more than I do, right? Weighs more than I do. I can't even sweep you off your feet. She doesn't compliment me at all. She doesn't have the genetics I want. See, people always think, oh, black men want women with European features. No, y'all want to have European features with all these blonde wigs and Asian hair y'all be wearing. I know what features and genes I look for. I like real chocolate caramel women. I like my women curvaceous. I never met a man who is wealthy. Don't get me wrong. There are dudes out there that love big girls. But if you was to take 10 millionaires, and I want to ask y'all this, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. You take 10 black men that are millionaires, 10 black men that are millionaires, and you line up Lizzo, you line up Kelly Rowland, you line up, I don't know, Rosie O'Donnell, and you line up Big Shirley. Who do you think those 10 millionaires are going to choose? Now, there might be that one millionaire that's like, you know what, I don't really care about all that. She's down, she's cool, whatever. That is a minority of men. Because let me go back to this again. Ladies, I want you to get this in your memory. Ladies, I want you to write this down. I want you to make this law. Men are visual creatures. I will say it again. Men are visual creatures. If you do not keep your appearance together, we will stray elsewhere. I promise you that. I promise you that. You don't have to agree with it. See, you don't have to agree with it for it to be the truth. That's the thing about truth. That's the thing about facts. See, agreeing with it is based on your opinion. But the facts are the facts. Men are visual creatures. We are. Now, women are emotional creatures. I'll give you an example. A man and a woman are walking down the street. A man sees a woman with a fat ass and a pretty face. He does not care about her energy. He does not care if she's a good person. He does not care if she's a good mother. Men are visual creatures. We see fat ass and a pretty face. It's in our genetics to go conquer that, right? Now let's say there's a woman walking down the street, right? She's walking and she see dudes with their shirts off and all these attractive guys and all that. And she might be like, wow, he's cute. He's whatever. But I rarely met a woman that got to a point of lack of self-control that she's seen a man and literally pounced on him like he was a piece of meat. But you know what I did see? I did see women who fell in love with their work husband because he was attentive to her emotion and her needs all the time. I seen women who were best friends with a man for years and then fell in love with him because they connected on an emotional level. See, I see that all the time. Women, you are emotional. Men, we are visual. We are visual. That's why a man can cheat on you and still love you, because we're not emotional like you. Ladies, I'm trying to save a lot of heartbreak. You know what I mean? I'm trying to save a lot of heartbreak. We're so visual that we can love you. We can have kids with you, put a ring on your finger, but yet we're so visual. We'll see that fat ass and we go hop on it. Men are emotional, but we don't let our emotions guide our decisions. I'm gonna say this again. Men, we can be emotional, but we don't let emotions guide our decisions. Some of these men are females with a zick. I'm just talking about by nature. I'm not talking about all this binary, non-binary, no gender dudes. I'm talking about straight up men and straight up women. So, all right, ladies, prove me right. Ladies, if you think your man is not visual, right? Ladies, I want y'all to prove my point. Ladies, if you think your man is not visual, I want you to bring your man down to Dominican Republic. And I want you to give me $100 for every time he break his neck while he's walking with you. See, I can hit y'all with the facts. If I brought a lot of y'all boyfriends and y'all husbands down to Dominican Republic, they wouldn't last. They wouldn't last. These are some of the most beautiful women in the world. So all that, oh, well, I cook for him every day. I clean for him every day. He's still gonna go fuck that Dominican girl. I promise you. I promise you. But he's still gonna come back home and love you and, you know, stuff like that. But he's still gonna run down on the Dominican shorty. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. But see, men, we can what's the word I'm looking for? Compartmentalize. We can compartmentalize our emotions. Like me, I can say or I can feel love towards my girlfriend or towards my wife. I love you. You make me feel safe. You make me feel secure. I can feel all of those things about you. But guess what? These eyes will always wander. Now, whether the man is real enough to tell you or not, that's different. But guess what? I promise you. If I slid in any of your husbands, any of your boyfriends' DMs, and I said, listen, my name's Aaron the Mogul. I want to fly you out to Dominican Republic, show you around, introduce you to some nice women, yada, yada, yada. And they knew you wouldn't find out, or you gave them a blessing. Watch how fast they'll be down here. Watch how fast they'll be down here. No. I'm not trying to become the new Kevin Samuels. All I'm doing is I'm trying to look at it from both sides. Women are actually like this too. They just hide the shit better. Well, let's talk about that. CEO Sydney, let's talk about it. Because I don't know women. Teach me about women. Do y'all go on vacation and look for men to like screw on a one night stand? I want to know. Tell me. I'm pulling up. No, seriously, tell me. Like, tell me. They cheat for a new feeling. Let me see. They cheat for a new feeling. So CEO Sydney. So I want you to break that down. Y'all be distraught when y'all find out we cheating. All right. So let me break down how I feel about this. The whole women cheating, the whole women doing things that men do. I'm gonna give y'all story time. All right, this is story time. I told myself for my 30th birthday, I'm going to start being more real on social media because I feel like it's too much fake shit going on. So whether it embarrasses me or not, I feel like social media. I feel like my tribe just needs this. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna give y'all story time. So I was in an unofficial polygamous relationship, an unofficial one. So let me explain to you what that dynamic was. Right? It was a woman. We was really good friends. We eventually started catching feelings for each other, but she had a man. It was her baby dad, right? But this dude didn't have no bread. You know, he was always, disrespecting her or whatever. So, I came in, on my ball. See, that's another thing, fellas. If you're treating your girl like shit and she got like a male mentor, because I was technically her mentor. So, fellas, if you're treating your woman like shit and she got like a bossed up male mentor, you better watch your shorty. Cause motivation is like an aphrodisiac. Like that's what I noticed. Like most of the women that I've dated, they either was mentored by me before or we were like learning from the same person. Motivation is like an aphrodisiac. So long story short, we started, doing our thing and whatever. And I never had a problem with the fact that she was still sleep with her child's father, here and there. Now, I know this might sound crazy. What? This, that, and the third? Listen, I feel like women are like men in a lot of ways where women are very, you guys are sexual creatures. You guys are physical. Women love intimacy. And I also understand that I do not have any control over a woman's vagina. I don't care if I'm married to you. I don't care if we're in a relationship. I cannot tell you what to do with your vagina. Just like I cannot tell you what to do with your womb. You see how that line keeps on going down? I can't tell a woman what to do with her womb, and I also cannot tell her what to do with her vagina. My only way I feel is, if the woman I'm dating, if she feel like she needs two men to feel complete, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step away with all love. I'm going to step away and let her pursue that other person more. Right? Because here's the thing. I bring a lot to the table. So for a woman to want to either cheat on me or go have her fun with another guy, that will be very rare. That will be very rare. Because women, y'all have y'all needs and y'all like being, freaky and all that. But you know what? You know what women love even more than fun and sex and stuff like that? Women love security. Yeah, let's talk about that. Women know the first day if they're going to fuck you or not, especially over 30. That I agree with. Our sex drives are higher. We just let y'all think it was your idea. I actually agree with that. Hold on. And that's what men need to ask themselves. Why? Why would that bother you? You want to be emotionally balanced, not emotionally unavailable? Know the difference. Women are not messy. We can step out and leave no breadcrumbs. Women cheat for emotional reasons. Men cheat because they can. I actually agree with that. But like I said, so hold on, right? But I think security can pass a lot of women's emotional needs. Like I've been trying to pursue women who were being treated like shit by their man. But their man was getting so much money. The man was getting so much money. So then the woman fell in love with the security that created. There's actually a word for that. It's called financial. I think it's called financial psychological abuse. It's either financial abuse or financial psychological abuse. Pretty much, a woman, right? She wants security so bad that she's willing to be in a toxic relationship because she don't want to be homeless. I'm gonna be honest with you. One of my exes is in a situation like that. One of my exes is in a situation like that. She, we dated back in high school. We dated back in high school. And I remember her in high school. She never, was like the go-getter. She never like worked like any like part-time jobs. She never was doing internships. That's what I was doing. I was doing internships, working part-time jobs. She was floating all through high school, right? Because I remember her mother. Her mother, from when I used to come over her house, was always getting taken care of by men. So my ex grew up seeing her mom being taken care of by men most of her life. So she never had the ambition to go out and get her own. So what ended up happening was, once we stopped dealing with each other, she ends up finding another guy. But then reality hits her when she started having kids, and she's like, wow, if I don't like shack up with a dude who can make sure I'm good financially, I'm going to be the fuck on the streets because I don't know how to do anything. I don't have a college degree. I haven't learned any skills. I haven't built up any job experiences because I've been banking on me finding the right guy. So then what happens is when a woman meets a guy who's secure financially, but he's toxic, he come across, sweet and charming in the beginning. And then once he has you trapped, once he took you on the trips, once he paid your bills a couple of times, once he gets you to the point where you're dependent, when you're dependent on him, that's when the abuse starts. That's when the control starts. That's when he says, oh, you can't go out tonight. Oh, you can't do this. See, women, you guys put yourselves in that position where you don't have any identity for yourself. So you're saying there's no men out here like this? Oh, absolutely. We call them, so I call them hobosexuals. Hobosexuals. A hobosexual is a man who lives with a woman just for security. So trust me, listen, I'm not trying to be in the next Kevin Samuels. I come from men too. I come from men too. It's just women give me the most engagement. So I talk about that. But no, I know a bunch of dudes that will deal with Big Shirley or deal with a woman that got 8 kids just so he can have somewhere to live. I can't ever be dependent on a man. See, and that's what Kevin Samuels like. That's the balance. That's the balance. And I wanna make this an open question. Ladies, how do you balance being independent yet still letting your man lead and being submissive? Like, that's what I feel like is some of the hardest balance in a relationship. Because let me tell you something, ladies. Ladies, I know you love to feel independent. I know you like to say, I don't need no man, and I do it all by myself. Part of what makes a man feel like a man, is feeling needed, having a purpose. Sometimes just you asking me to open your water bottle for you, even though I know you can open your own water bottle. But guess what? It makes me feel more like a man when I do it for you. Same thing with opening your door. Same thing. You notice how a lot of things that go along with having manners and being a gentleman is related to taking care of a woman? See, being a gentleman and taking care of your woman kind of go hand in hand. I don't want you to be so independent I can't open your door for you. I don't want you to be so independent I can't open your water bottle for you. I don't want you to be so independent that if we're struggling financially that you don't feel confident enough to come to me. But there is a balance. See, a man never wants to feel like you don't need him, right? Because men operate off of two emotions. There's only two emotions that motivate men. That's love and fear. Love and fear. And you never want your man to be motivated by fear. You never want your man to be motivated by, you want your man to be motivated by love, not fear. Because those are the two things that motivate us. The fear of being broke, the fear of losing our families, the fear of this, the fear of that. And then you got love. You got love. Listen, I flew to different countries for love. Trust me, love is a very powerful motivator for men. If you go back in history, you will see men who fought wars against other countries for love. So never underestimate how far a man will go for love, but also don't underestimate how far a man will go if he's fearful. Let's see. Exactly, but a lot of folks don't have the fundamentals, respect, kindness, and how to be humble. I feel that. They like to feel muscular. No, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like I looked at, I think because I'm about to be 30, I'm like really reflecting over my life and my relationships. And I was looking at, okay, when was I the happiest? When was I the, you know what I mean? And I learned my best relationship, right? Let me see. Not all men provide reasons to be needed. Look at what Mary said. She said, not all men provide reasons to be needed. So that's the shot at the man. That's a shot at the man. What do you bring to the table? Going 50-50 with your girl is not bringing something to the table. That's a roommate. And listen, all relationships are different. I'm not judging men who split bills with their woman. But you can't beat your chest up if you splitting bills with your girl. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't walk around like you king of motherfucking Wakanda and you gotta ask your girl for her half every month. You can't do that. I'm not saying you're less of a man. I'm not saying that's not how it's supposed to be done. What I'm saying is you have to walk a little bit different when you're splitting bills. So let me just redivert this to the men, right? Let me just redivert this to the men. Men, before y'all start grinding women up about, them being fat or what they bring to the table, stuff like that, number one, understand that the man is the prize. The man is the prize. So the man is the prize. That means we already have to have our table set. I'm going to say that again. In a relationship, a good man is the prize. You know why a good man is the prize? Because the good men are so rare to find. So if you're a good man and you bring something to the table, the woman is supposed to add to your table, not bring the table. See, that's what a lot of fellas want to do. They want to see a woman that's a fucking doctor, already got her table set up, and it's like, all right, bet, now I could just slide in and just ride her wave. No, women, I noticed, women don't like that. I had women who were doctors and lawyers. I dated women that were doctors and lawyers that were willing to leave their fucking careers to follow me. And that's when I learned women don't really want to work. They don't really want to work. It sounds good on TV and the gram and stuff like that, but if y'all had it y'all way, most of y'all will work part-time. If most women had it their way, they'll work part-time, preferably their own business, and then they wouldn't mind the other stuff. But let's go back to the men, right? So another thing, right? If you're not paying, if you're splitting bills with your girl, right? You cannot have trash dick, man. Your sex has to be amazing. You know why? Because you have rich men like me who will pay your girl's bills and fuck her good, while you can't even pay her bills and you giving her trash dick. I know I'm being a little vulgar, but I told you I was gonna be real right now. I was gonna be real with y'all. So, fellas, just understand that, right? There are a lot of dudes out here that's getting money, and because they've been with so many women, their experience is on a different level. They'll fuck your girl into the next planet. So, the less money you make, the better your tongue better be, bro. I'm telling you straight up. You better make sure your woman is physically satisfied every day. Every day. Because women will deal, most women will deal with the splitting bills part and going 50-50, but they're not going to deal with having to work hard and not getting fucked hard. How does that balance? You're working hard, but then you can't even come home to get fucked hard. That math doesn't add up. You know what I'm saying? Also, fellas, being a man with a plan. Being a man with a plan. See, that's another thing, right? The main reason why your woman is probably not being submissive or following you is because you don't have no fucking plan. You don't have no plan. A lot of y'all dudes out here, y'all can't even put no girl in position. What the fuck you know how to do? What do you know how to do? You see, when I date a woman, I get her into real estate. I fix her credit, take her to different countries, help them start businesses, teach them how to run their business. I invest in their business. But bro, you don't know how to do shit. Hold on. You don't know how to make money outside of your job. You want to split bills 50-50 with your girl, and then you want to give her 10 pumps and done once or twice a week. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Not fucked hard, but good. You know what I meant. So why doesn't it work out? It's a balance, man. It's a balance. And what does she do in return? So here's the thing, right? That's where you have to date different people to kind of find out where your balance is, right? So me, I've dated doctors, I've dated lawyers, I've dated, millionaire entrepreneurs. And guess what? After all that, I really do not care how much money a woman makes. See, this is what I learned when I started dealing with women that was making more money. No matter, and fellas, I'm gonna tell y'all this. Fellas, I don't give a fuck if you get a doctor or you get the waitress at Applebee's. The woman that works in the hospital and the woman that works at Applebee's, you know what they both got in common? They still want to spend your money. See, that's how I can always tell, if men really dealt with high-class, successful women before. You see, when you dating that lawyer, that doctor and stuff, they bust their ass to get where they're at. So you think these women are going to bust their ass to get where they're at and they're not going to spend your money? Oh, best believe they are. Best believe. Listen, if anything, I spent more money on high-income, independent women than I ever spent on an Applebee's girl. Shit, the girl that work at Applebee's, shit, I could take her to Del Frisco's, once or twice a year, and she think I'm the best boyfriend alive. But then you deal with that high-class, six-figure woman. I will never forget this one ex. I will never forget her. I think I dated her when I was like 21. Our first date, we went to Smoke. We went to Smoke in Manayunk, Philadelphia, right? And she was a banker. She was a manager at a bank. She was manager for TD Bank, right? And we come in there and she just laid it right on the table, like, hey, listen, you're a nice guy and everything, but I just want to let you know, like, what my standards are. I eat at Del Frisco's because I can afford Del Frisco's. So if I want to go to places like that, that's what I do. And I don't want to, and I hope it's not a problem if I expect you to pay. And I had no problem with it because the first thing she said was, I eat Del Frisco's because I can afford Del Frisco's. So understand, women that make a lot of money, when they know they can afford it, they're going to expect that. The lawyer shorty that you want that's making $300,000-$400,000 a year, her rent ain't gonna be no $1,000 a month. Yo, my ex that was an attorney, that rent was $3,000 a month. So y'all fellas that want these independent, bossed up women, motherfucker, do you even got that tab? Do you even got that tab? Let's just keep it real. Do you have that tab? Do you have that tab that if your lawyer girlfriend, right, something get wrong with her pay or whatever, and she needs you to help her with her rent that month, do you got that 3 bands that you can just cash app her, no questions asked? Probably not. Probably not. However, now I gotta flip it. Now I gotta go back to ladies. Now, ladies, the fact that there are so many men that are not bossed up, that don't have the means to pay you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 rent or help you here, help you there. When you do find men, and I know y'all gonna hate me for saying this, when y'all do find men who are intelligent, attractive, providers, more than likely you will have to share. Yep, I knew I wasn't gonna like that. I'm gonna say it again. When you do find a man who is not married, not gay, not committing any illegal activities, and he's not a famous person or an athlete, and he's willing to give you money, give you experiences, treat you with respect, all that good stuff, you might have to share. Why? Because there are more good single women out here. There are more good single women out here than there are black men that are even eligible to date them. Listen, most prisons are filled up with black men, right? So your Idris Elba, your Russell, whatever his name is, Russell Westbrook, they doing hard time. They doing hard time right now. They doing 20 to life right now. So y'all already lost out on those group of men. All the men that you could have got, but they got locked up because the system wanted them in jail. You already lost them. Then you have this whole, putting black men in dresses and all these metrosexuals and stuff like that. Nothing against gay men at all. I have gay male friends, nothing against them at all. But ladies, you just lost another group of men. You lost the ones that's in prison, and you lost the ones that are gay. Then you have the ones that are married and that actually are faithful, right? That's another group of men you just lost, right? Then men don't really want women with kids, I noticed in dating. Oh, we're going to get to that in a second. So the last group of men, the last fourth group of men that you lost out on are the men who make less than 6 figures. The men that make less than 6. Russell Wilson, that's his name. Yep, Russell Wilson. My bad. Russell Wilson, right? So all those good men that you could have potentially got, they all, boom, they gone. So now you're left with the small percentage of black men who make over 6 figures. They're not gay. They don't have a relationship. They don't got 20 kids running around. You're going to have to share. And I'm going to be absolutely real with y'all. Most of my exes, not all, because I'm going to tell y'all this, right? I never cheated on any of my exes because I always was upfront with them. And guess what? I always had permission. When I was living in Vegas, and I was in my relationship, the best relationship I ever had, when I went on my trips, on my vacations, I do me. You know why? Because my ex was a Canadian Jamaican, right? So before y'all all judge me like, what, Aaron, you was cheating? No. This was a girl I was talking to on Instagram for months. Talked to her on Instagram, wouldn't give me her number, then finally gave me her number months later. I moved to Vegas. She comes to visit me. She brings me, she was working at Saks. She brings me all these like Dior sneakers and stuff like that, whatever. And she stayed with me for a week. And then she was about to go back to Toronto. And then she got fired from her job. Right? And when she got fired from her job, I said, well, listen, I'm living in Vegas by myself. I have a big ass house out here with 5 bedrooms. Why don't you stay here with me until you get yourself together? My ex, I got her permanent residency in the United States. I got her bank accounts. I helped her get her jewelry business off the ground. Gave her all types of contacts and stuff like that. I had her on private jets. I took her to one of the #1 resorts in the world. I took her to the Waldorf in Cabo. the Waldorf in Cabo. When y'all go on my YouTube and y'all see that intro with the girl feeding me in the pool, that was her. Yeah. And guess what? When I was in Mexico, she let me do my thing down there too. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Whenever I went back to Philly, did my thing back there too. Now, the problem is men who think they deserve that treatment, men that think they deserve that treatment, but you ain't doing no bullshit like that. I literally changed her life. And she's in Atlanta right now, living her best life, and I couldn't be any more happier for her. But I tell y'all that story, that was a business arrangement, not a marriage. Right. I don't want to be married. Let me just put that out clear. I don't want to be married. Not that I don't believe in marriage. I don't believe in the leverage that women in America get when they marry a man. Like, I could marry a woman and she could decide she don't want me anymore and take half of my money. And then y'all that think prenups is like this bulletproof vest, prenups only cover the money that was made before the marriage. If you marry your wife and you get richer over the years, she's still entitled to compensation. So yeah, I don't believe in traditional marriages. I believe in getting married the same way my ancestors did. Jumping over a broom, we married. Look, you know what I'm saying? I know couples that are legally married, they don't act like they married. So I don't need no piece of paper for me to show my woman love or to treat her like an amazing. I don't need a piece of paper to do that. And guess what? Some of my exes were getting better treatment than a lot of niggas' wives. So you mean, do y'all care about the label? Do y'all care about the label? Or do y'all care about the benefits? Y'all care about the title, or do you care about the emotions you feel with that person? I don't give a fuck about no title. Depending on what state you live in, you can get a post whatever that word say, I can't say it right now. I know what you mean though. It's like a prenup, but post. I can't say that fucking word. You know what I mean. Let me see what y'all saying. That's what people don't understand. The goal is to come into a relationship and be, right here, y'all. Royal 1A said it. That's what people don't understand. The goal is to come into a relationship and be yourself. Be authentic. Basically be authentic in a relationship, right? Be authentically yourself. Meaning, if you're needing permission, you're not solid with yourself or your partner. So pretty much, Royal, what I got out of that, right? You don't have to ask permission, or is not cheating when you go into a relationship being yourself. Fellas. And I'm gonna keep a buck with y'all. If you tell your woman up front, do you believe in monogamy? Yes. I believe in monogamy for the people that it works for. I have male friends that like being in relationships. They do not like being with multiple women. That's them. That's not me. That's not me. I tried it. And that's the problem. Just because you try something and it didn't work for you doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It's just not for you. I tried monogamy, just like I tried with a job. And you know what I noticed? Wow, I can love my girl, but I still, I want, to do this or do that, or not even that, because that sounds like I'm trying to be a hoe. I feel like I can love you. But I can have a completely different, meaningful relationship with another person. For example, I have 3 best friends, 3 right-hand bros that I talk to every day. Bro A don't get jealous of bro B. Bro B don't get jealous of bro C. I have my own individual relationships with them. Of course, in a friendly, platonic way. No homo, but you know what I mean. Now, someone said, it's too many illnesses out here, right? So I heard it. There's too many illnesses out here. It's not that there's too many illnesses out here. It's too many liars out here. There are too many liars out here. Because if women will tell the truth, If men will tell the truth, yes, I'm fucking other people and I did this, fuck this guy raw. Now you have the option to protect yourself. The problem is everybody is lying and trying to keep secret and stuff. That's where the disease is coming from. The disease, the STDs come from when you think this person is only fucking you, but they're really not. And because you think they're only fucking you, you're not using protection. Exactly. So with that, people are walking around with a mask on, not knowing who they are and what they're capable of. Exactly. Exactly. Good way of putting it. I believe in it for the people work for. All right, I'll give you another example why I can kind of get with polygamy. So someone said to me earlier, men don't like women with kids. Men don't like women with kids. It's added burden, the extra added burden of having to take care of a child that's not theirs, and then whenever you decide you don't want to be with that man anymore, I'm gonna give y'all true. Listen, I'm gonna give y'all story times all day. The minute you decide you don't want to be with the man anymore, you're correct, Mary. You're correct. That's my bad. I'm still learning about it. The minute you don't want to be with the man no more, you just rip that child out of his life. I'll give you an example. I was in a relationship. The woman had a daughter that was about 2 years younger than my daughter. And, you know, her dad was in jail, you know, single mom, you know, typical story. And, you know, I used to, you know, be on FaceTime with her. I used to talk to her daughter. You know, we got to the point where we were living together. I was spending more time because my daughter was living with her mom at the time. So when I was with my ex, I was spending more time with her daughter than I was even spending with my own. And me and her, we got so connected, so connected. I still love that girl to this day. And guess what? The minute her mom, oh, it's not working for me, this, that, and the third, yada, 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 ripped that little girl right out my life. I was so hurt and destroyed when my ex's child was taken out of my life. I used to send that little girl Christmas gifts for almost 3 years straight. 3 years straight. Then she's out messing and dealing with other guys, getting in other relationships. And guess what? I still made sure her daughter had something for Christmas every year for like 3 years, right? So I say that to say, that's why from past experiences, I'm more wary of getting in relationships with women with kids because I love kids. Y'all can go on my Instagrams. I love kids. And I can't build a relationship with your kid and then you decide you don't want to be with me anymore and then I lose the relationship with that kid as well. That is a pain that is I'm still hurting from that. This relationship was probably 4 years ago. It still hurts me. So ladies, understand that. And understand when you're asking a man to be in your life and be in your child's life, understand what you're asking them. You're asking them to take the wall off of their heart. Because men, we try to walk around like we got a wall over our heart. We take the wall off of our heart to let your child in. Let your child in. Sometimes, I'm about to get me emotional here. It was sometimes I felt like I was being a better dad to her daughter than to my own fucking kids. Because she lived with me. My other daughter didn't live with me. So I started feeling guilty. Like, fuck, I'm taking care of her kids, but I'm taking care of mine. All these thoughts were going through my head. Then just for her to rip her out of my life, I asked her, I said, well, look, we don't got to be in a relationship no more, but can I at least just check up on her? Like, I was begging her, like, how does check up on her and whatever? No, this is easier. Let's just make this a clean break. That's what women say. That's what the fuck y'all say. That's what women say. Let's just make this a clean break, whatever. Then you just sit there like, what now? You got all these pictures. Listen. Y'all about to get me emotional. I taught this girl how to ride a bike. Listen, that video fucks me up so bad that I had to delete it. I taught this little girl how to ride a bike. Ripped out of my life a month later. So I say that to say, right, ladies, understand the burden. Understand the burden it is to be a stepdad or to play a stepdad role. It's hard playing that stepdad role when it's not your kid and you know that kid can be ripped out of your life at any moment. That shit is hard. It's hard. It's hard. That's why I don't really like my girlfriends meeting my kids until I know you are just going to be around, because it's the same thing, man. I don't want a woman getting all attached to my kids and stuff like that. Then we start beefing and then it's like, oh, nope, can't talk to my kids no more. Because number one, that's going to hurt my kids. That's going to hurt my kids. The two women I ever introduced to my kids, my daughters still talk about them to this day. Oh, what happened to Miss So-and-so? Or, you know, I miss so-and-so. And yo, when I broke up with my ex, my oldest daughter, she kept my ex picture as our screensaver on our home computer. She kept her face as the screensaver for 2 months after we broke up. 2 months after we broke up. And I'm like, you know, Lala, I think it's time for us to move on. Let's change the picture. She's like, no, I don't want to change it. Then, hold on, let's get deeper. Then my daughter started to blame me. My daughter started to blame me for taking her fucking friend away. Dad, why did you make it work for her? Why did you make my friend go away? Yada, 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 this, that, and the third. So, ladies, it's not that we do not like women with kids. It is just a lot on our mentals. As y'all can see, I'm still dealing with it. So imagine a man who does this multiple times. Date you, meet your kids, in a relationship for a year, done. Meet you in a relationship with your kids. And hold on, ladies. Then when the man does not want to get close with your children to protect his heart, when he doesn't want to get close to your children to protect his heart, y'all think he's a piece of shit. Oh, if you want me, you gotta accept my kids too, and And then when he's not with that, then he's automatically no. That man probably loves so hard, he probably cannot take the pain of losing your child in his life once he starts loving them. We play mom to kids, they get snatched too. But you know what? You know one thing I can say? Double standards. It was easier for me to keep relationships with females that I dealt with in the past if I made it all about the kids. If I like, hey, look at the kids together, this, that, and the third, woo, woo. But when it's the shoe on the other foot, when I'm the man and the woman moves on, women don't want they ex niggas around their kids when they have their new nigga. Like, that's not happening. You see, my current girlfriend, if I had one, I can explain to her, hey, my daughter has a really good relationship with her. There's nothing between us going on. I just want to make sure, you know, they stay in contact and they build a good relationship. A woman will understand that. You know why? Because women are nurturing. Women are loving. Women are nurturing. Y'all will understand that. But men are not going to understand that. Ladies, you will never convince me that you're going to keep your ex in your life. Because I actually had an ex that did this before. I had an ex, it actually wasn't a baby, it was a dog. My ex had a French bulldog that she had got with her ex, and she loved this dog so fucking much, she kept in contact with her ex just to keep seeing that dog. Now, at first, I'm like, okay, you know, maybe they just still trying to work out their last little, you know, separation things, because they was living together, they had life together. But the fact that she was trying to build a regular routine of going to see this man, getting the dog, coming back, I said, I can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't do that. You can say I'm insecure, you can say whatever the fuck you want, but I'm never going to feel okay for you to keep going back and dealing with an ex because of a relationship y'all have with a kid or a dog. No. But a woman will understand that. Oh no, I'm not putting up with that, bro. Yo, bro, that we literally probably broke up like 2 weeks after that. I'm like, why do you keep going to get this fucking dog? Buy a new French fucking bulldog. Oh, no, but that's my dog. I had him since he was a puppy. That circles all the way back to men are visual. Facts. So yeah, so ladies, I definitely want you guys to just start thinking about that, about the emotional and mental strain it is on a man that plays a stepdad role, before you get mad at us and, oh, why you don't deal with women with kids? That's not fair, yada yada yada. And then also, when a man has kids, when a man has kids, I feel like it's easier to manage those situations without putting burden on the current woman. So I'll give you an example, right? None of my girlfriends has ever spoken to any of my daughter's mothers, have any altercations or anything with my daughter's mothers. Because the child is with them most of the time. Versus a woman who 9 times out of 10 has custody of her child. Y'all have to constantly find babysitters. It's more pressure to meet the kid, because then it might be one day, you just pop up and you just happen to be there. So just understand that it's a double standard to that, because majority of women have full custody of their kids versus majority of men do not have full custody of their kids. So it's easier for us to date if we have kids than it is for a woman. Let's see. Oh, that's weird. And listen, double standards are supposed to sound weird. Double standards are supposed to get under your skin. That's why they are double standards. And that's why I also tell people that men and women are not equal. We're not equal. We're not equal. If men and women were equal, we will all have the same exact body parts. We will have the same chromosomes. We are not equal, right? Men can do certain things better than women. Women can do certain things better than men. Men were born to do things that women were not to do, vice versa. For example, women are genetically and biologically made to carry and birth children, right? You are biologically wired that way. I would even say emotionally wired. Listen, you ever met a woman that's 40 years old, they don't have no kids? Watch how depressed they be. They see, women, when they be 40 and they don't have any kids, they try to hide it with success. But they really be depressed like fuck. They wanted some kids. And also understand this, right? I heard some women had problems with men sharing, right? So let's go down to the biology of it, right? A woman can only be pregnant by one man at a time. And while she's pregnant for 9 months. Then there is no guarantee the baby will make it to term, and it is no guarantee that the baby will survive after birth. And for you ladies that don't know this, 2 out of 10 women before modern medicine will die during childbirth. So there was a 20% chance you were going to die in childbirth, right? Let's talk about a man. Men can have children up until we're in our 70s and 80s. And some men can have babies until they die. Our testicles generate millions and millions of sperm a day. If a man was ambitious enough, he can literally impregnate 100 women at one time. So I don't tell people emotionally you should share or logically you should share. It's science. It's science. It's science. Because at the end of the day, your womb, your choice, right? I always tell women this. Your womb, your choice, right? So, okay. So if it's your womb, your choice, then it's my penis, my choice. Right? I can't tell you what to do with your womb. You can't tell me what to do with my penis. Look, I'm with y'all on that. Look, we can be pro-choice all day. Just let me have pro-choice over my penis. And look, and I'll meet you halfway. Because I believe that's the same thing. If I impregnate a woman, and she's pregnant with my child, and she said, you know what? This don't work for me. I'm going to terminate this pregnancy. You had a choice to end something that also belonged to me as well. Because I was going to have to pay the child support when it came out, everything. So you had a choice to do that with your womb. So if I choose to take my penis and go impregnate someone else that will birth my child without wanting to get aborted and stuff like that. Isn't that not pro-choice? So you guys gotta watch what games y'all want to play, because the further y'all go into these lanes, it can only go deeper. It can only go deeper. Same thing with all this, getting your sex changed at 10 and 11. Like, I can't even believe what the fuck Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union are doing right now. But this is what I tell people, right? Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? If a child can change their sex at 10, why can't they have sex at 10? The age right now of consent to have sex, the age of consent is 16. So they're telling you you can change your sex before you can have sex. Before you even know the full purpose of your organs and your body parts, they're saying, yeah, you can change that if you want to. Even though you legally can't have sex until you're 16. Hold on. But then, hold on. I can cut off my penis at 10, but I can't have a drink until I'm 21. Someone explain that to me, please. Someone explain that to me. I could take hormone blockers to keep me from hitting puberty. I can get my sex changed, but then I can't have a drink. I can't have a drink until I'm 21. And then I looked that up. I looked up like, yo, why is it 21? Other countries is 18 and stuff like that. And then the reason is, at that age, your brain is more developed, you're more responsible, stuff like that. So why don't we have that same argument with the children? Why can't we say, you know what, the same rules for buying liquor, we're going to put that on changing your sex? That's what you guys have to understand what's going on here, man. It's an attack. It's an attack on our families. It's an attack on our way of life. See, let me tell y'all how it used to be before all the European influence. See, back when we was living in tribes and villages and stuff like that, there was no you cheating, he's cheating, you slept with her, you this, that, and third. We used to live in communities where I might be one man, but I might have had a child with 1, 2, 3, but we're all living in this community in peace. I'm gonna explain to you why that was. Back during the time of famine and wars and stuff like that, men were dropping off by the hundreds to the thousands, because women didn't fight wars, men did. So when we died and the men that came back, who's going to take care of all these women that are now single? And, let's talk about Islam. I heard a lot of people talk about the honorable Prophet Muhammad, that he married Khadijah. I think it was Khadijah that he married. Prophet Muhammad married Khadijah, and I think she was like 12 or 13, and people try to say he was a pedophile for that. And what I said was, well, back during that time, he married her to keep her safe. Back then, there wasn't no, let me adopt you, or no. Back during that time, if you wanted to take care of a girl or a woman, you had to marry them. That's how it was back then. Because I'm going to say it again, we lived in communities. There wasn't no, you stole this from him, you're cheating on him, because everything was ours. Everything was shared. See, the European mindset gives you the mindset of possession. The European mindset tells you that if you have a boyfriend, he belongs to you. He is your possession. Europeans say, if you're married to that woman, she belongs to you. See, what you guys have to understand is that European way of thinking, that's what fed into all this pro-life and pro-choice and stuff like that. White man destroying the world one piece at a time. Exactly. Black people, can I ask y'all a question? And I really want y'all to listen to me. Black people, what would happen to the black community if we stop putting each other on child support, we stop taking CCIS, we stop taking welfare, all y'all women that share baby dads, y'all children are fucking brother and sister. You need to work with those fucking women, not beef with them. How much sense do that make to beef with the parent of your kid's siblings? That never made sense to me. Imagine black people if it's like, okay, I had a baby by this guy, you had a baby by this guy, you had a baby by this guy. That makes all of our children related. which makes us indirectly a fucking family. What if we got together and watch each other's kids, so now we don't have to go to the fucking white man and go to welfare and ask him for help? See, we all the help we need, ladies. We all the help we need. Instead of y'all getting jealous of, that's my man, that's my man. No, this is my family, and I'm going to protect it. One of the main reasons I am not close with most of my siblings is because we all got different moms. And guess what? All those moms chose not to have a relationship with each other. But imagine my father, right? If he got all his kids' moms together and said, listen, I made some mistakes. If it was my choice, we would not be in a situation, but we're here now. Let's operate as a tribe. That doesn't mean we all, see, that's what you guys understand. That doesn't mean you all gotta fucking have menage a trois and orgies and shit. Is no. Our kids are related. Let's work as a team so all of our lives are better. What does it say? It takes a village to raise a child. But the thing is, a lot of y'all don't want that. Y'all want possession. Y'all want possession. This is mine. This is mine. That's my man. That's my kids. Listen, your kids are not even yours. Your kids are not even yours. You're just responsible for your kids up until a certain age. How would you feel if your mom walked up to you and said, you're my property? You don't look at your parents like they crazy. I ain't your fucking property. But isn't that the type of label you put on your child when they're in your womb? You think that's your property. Some people even use their property as tools in war against the other person. So that's what we need to get rid of, this whole mindset of possession. You are not entitled to anything. No one belongs to you. You came into this world by yourself, and you're going to leave by yourself. I really want y'all to understand. I want you to understand that, no, you do not own anybody. Everyone has their choice to love who they want and do what they want. And if that person decides to love you, you need to celebrate that. And guess what? And if anytime they don't, guess what? There are 8 billion other people out here. Go find someone else. Parents. A pair that rents. Your parents are renting you. Wow. Yo, I like that. So this is my man Evolving Focus 22 said. He said, parents. A pair that rents. So parents, a pair that rents, like that makes so much sense. I love that. Because honestly, I feel like I'm renting my daughter until she's probably about 16, 17. And that's probably when she's going to, oh, I make my own decisions. So I'm already preparing myself for that. Black parents do view their children as property. Ooh. This is what Serenity Cruz said. She said, black people do view their children as property. Wow. So let me ask y'all a question, right? Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think black parents looking at their children as property stems back to slavery? Or does it stem back to our more tribal community days? Because she just said something heavy. She said black parents do view their children as property. And I ain't gonna lie. There has been some points in times, I'm not going to say I treated her like a slave on my property, but it was times I didn't look at my children like they were their own individual person with their own individual thoughts that wanted to do their own individual thing. See, let me explain that to y'all, right? A lot of y'all, oh, I want to give my kids everything. I want to make sure my kids never struggle, this, that, and the third. 9 times out of 10, that's not up to you. Because I know people who came from rich parents and they still grew up to be fucked up. You know what I mean? What your job is to do is, number one, the reward of having a child is your genetics and your genes living on. Children are not brought here for our fucking entertainment. Let's just put this out here. Children are not meant to be brought here for our fucking entertainment. Children are not meant to be brought here to trap people in relationships. Children are made, right, for you to pass on your genetic code to the next generation to keep human civilization going. But no way, shape, or form do you own that human being. You couldn't own a human being since slavery. You don't own. You're renting them. You're responsible for them. In exchange for this human carrying your bloodline to the next generation and giving you descendants, you have to take care of them, right? Until they can take care of themselves. And once they can take care of themselves, or they deem themselves independent, right? Within legal reasons, that's when you gotta let go. And that was one of my hardest things I had to realize as a parent, that I cannot dictate what my daughter wants. I cannot dictate what she's going to do when she get older. My daughter might grow up to be a trash lady. Who knows? But at the end of the day, that's not up to me. That's her and her journey. My job is just to rent her, take care of her until she gets to that point. And then hopefully she bring me grandkids and I can be my Floyd Mayweather shit and live happily ever after. They do. That's why black parents say, don't ask questions while we still beat our kids. Wow. They do. That's why black parents say, don't ask questions while we beat our kids. It's all slave mindset, sadly. Wow. And you know what, guys? I made a terrible mistake, and I gave my daughter the belt probably a couple years ago. And it was one of the worst mistakes in my life. Not counting all the legal trouble I got into, but the fact that I'm whooping her the same way my ancestors was getting whipped. That's not cool. That's why I never did that again. But to my defense, my daughter told me that if I put her on punishment, she was gonna get her mom boyfriend to beat me up. So listen, y'all, I lost it. I'm sorry. I will never let my daughter threaten me with another man because I want to put her on punishment. Nah. All right, what else we got here? This is true. Black people do view they. Damn. A lot of people is agreeing with this. Y'all really, wow. Black people view their children as property. Wow. Yo, I wanna do some more research on that. That's I never thought about it like that. Huh. So do y'all think because a lot of black people view their children as property, they also view their significant other as property? Cause I know a lot of men do. I know a lot of men view their women as property. But then at the same time, when I see how women react sometimes when a man don't want to be with them or they get cheated on, it's like, well, damn, he was with you out of choice. If he, Let's see something. We are really here to reproduce, to be honest. But the European man has destroyed your minds. Facts. And when I say European, right, because I don't want to get canceled or get my page shut down for hate talk or anything like that. When I say European, I mean the Neanderthal way of thinking. I mean, I'm talking about the medieval times where they were burning witches at stakes. I'm talking about that type of European mindset. I'm not talking about freaking Italian people who relate to me and stuff. No. I just don't want anyone to hear when we refer to European that we're talking about all white people and that y'all all feel. No, we're talking about a way of thinking that was created before he was even born. So if you're European descent right now, do not get offended. We're talking about the thought process of the ancestors that came from Europe, not you. Don't take it personal. All right. Let me see something. That's not just a black thing. White people do it too. Real shit. I see it all the time. I don't even beat my kids because I never understood why even if they got in trouble. Makes no sense. We are really here to reproduce, to be honest. But the European man has destroyed your minds. They'll be my property till they get out my house. They'll be my property until they get out my house. I respect their personalities, but they need to be taught and led along with nurture. I agree. Because that can come back to bite you. That can come back to bite you emotionally when you see a kid grow up and they're fucking their life up and they're having kids and they just keeping the generational curses going. I feel that. I feel that. It's all about breaking generational curses. They see it as talking about, but that's the time you really need to actually explain that they're in trouble. You didn't know, bro. You learned from it. It's okay. Thanks, bro. You're only hindering your kids to be slow. Facts. Aaron, I got a credit question. Feel free to ask me. What are authorized users? Authorized user, authorized user. I think that's what you're asking for. AAU, is that an authorized user? Bray too brazy. But the same one putting the children on the streets. Yeah, day grinding. That's unfortunate. My grandmom definitely put my ass on the street. I posted a Steve Harvey video this morning where he tells his wife, "You belong to me and I belong to you." See, let's talk about that, right? So when Steve Harvey said that, "You belong to me, I belong to you," he is quoting European Bible scriptures. I'm someone who read the Bible. I used to go to church every Sunday. We can talk about that. So I believe it's in Proverbs. I think it's in Proverbs where it basically says something along the lines like, when a man marries a woman, his body no longer belongs to him. And when a woman marries a man, her body no longer belongs to her. And pretty much it says, paraphrasing right here. Basically what it says is your job to your wife or your job to your husband is to make sure that they're always physically satisfied. You should always be giving your body to them. That's how the Bible kind of paints it. It says when you get married, your body is no longer yours and her body is no longer hers. But my thing is that really what it said? Because remember, the Bible that we read today is translated. And let me tell y'all something, right? I've been living in the Dominican Republic for about 4 to 5 months now. Spanish and English is probably two of the most similar languages that you can learn together, right? Do you guys know how many things get lost in translation when I'm trying to translate what I want to say in English to Spanish? Like sometimes I think I'm being really clear. Like, hey, I'm not feeling this, that, and the third. But the way it translates to the Spanish person, it might be a completely whole different context. See, that's why you guys need to learn different languages. If you guys learn different languages, you can see how so many messages can get lost in translation. Hold on, let me see. I knew it. The door, he's in DR. Once again, European man has twisted the Bible up. Yep. Now, that's one thing I will agree with. And I'm not going to debate on the accuracy and everything of the Bible, but what you do have to understand, even if, since the Bible was first drawn up, right? If they did nothing but just translate it to different languages, I'm not talking about revising it, adding different books. Just to remind you guys, there are two different Bibles. There's the Catholic Bible, and then there's the Christian Bible. The Catholic Bible has more books than the Christian Bible. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. All this stuff was put together. Because my thing is, the Bible should be the Bible. Why is the Catholic Bible longer than the Christian Bible? You know what I mean? Because people who want to shape the way we think, shape the way we govern our lives, right? Translate. This is what we wanted to say. Because honestly, I believe the only true way to understand the Bible is to read it in the original text that it was written in. I feel the same way about the Quran. Yes, you can get an English translation of the Quran, but you will understand a lot better if you learn Arabic, because that's what, that's how the Quran came down. It was recited in Arabic to Prophet Muhammad from the angel Gabriel. This give y'all some religion philosophy lessons too. I am bilingual, Spanish and English. Some things don't translate word for word. Exactly. Look at what DJ Vashi said. He said he speaks English and Spanish, two very similar fucking languages. There are like 50 to 100 words that are the same in English and Spanish. Yet, when you're trying to articulate yourself, you can get lost, you can lose stuff in translation. So imagine you're trying to articulate some of the most important information in the world, and you translated it over 15 times over hundreds and even thousands of years. Do you honestly think the context is going to stay the same? I don't think so. I don't think so. And also, to add another thing in, did you guys know that actually, like, book printing, like being able to print books, wasn't even available till like what, 500, 1,000 years after the Bible was created? See, when the Bible was created, right, most people were illiterate. Yes. Around the time the Bible and the Quran came out, the only way you could read the Bible or the Quran is if you was like a top class citizen that had access to the best education, or you went to someone who did know how to read and they read it to you. That's how we used to get the Bible. That's how we used to get this information. It used to get read to us because most of us was illiterate. Then hundreds of years later, they created the little printing mint thing, where now they can print out books on a wide scale and distribute it worldwide. So by the time you were able to get a Bible in your hand, hundreds of years had went by of people literally just reading it and telling you what it says. Think about it. Think about if all your life I never let you read anything. I'm like, no, you're not gonna know how to read this. I'll read it for you. I can literally tell you whatever and it say that's what it says. Let's go back to fucking slavery. Let's go back to slavery. That's why slave owners did not want their slaves to learn how to read. Because if the slaves learned how to read and they found the Bible before they came up with the slave Bible and stuff like that, then they will realize, like, wow, slavery really is immoral. Same thing with people from the North putting stuff in the newspapers about slavery being wrong. They knew if they said, you know what, we just want to read to the slaves, we want to make sure, we want to make slaves learning how to read a crime. We're going to make slaves learning how to read a crime. Then they will pick one Uncle Tom Negro, teach him how to read, and have him read it to the other slaves. But if that preacher or pastor wasn't preaching what was on the slave owners' agenda, they got lynched. So just understand, like, listen, guys, I believe in God. I'm not sitting here saying I worship crystals and I believe in universe and the sky and I dance with sage and shit like that. I'm not saying all that. But what I am saying, I know if you can control my faith, you can control my life. And I know that's something that the European minds have been trying to do for the longest. I see them do it with the welfare state, how you have black women. You have black women who depend more on their government than they do their own men. The government literally tells women that if you have a man living with you, we're not going to help you. The only way us as the government is going to help you financially is if you kick your man out. And then that's when the separation started. Oh, wow. Ladies, you can make more money being a fuck single than you can holding it down with your man. Let's break that down, shall we? Number one, you're going to get CCIS, money towards, daycare, calls, stuff like that. You're going to get food stamps. You're going to get, maybe even Section 8. I rent to Section 8 tenants all the time. They pay $200-$300 in rent. So if you have all that available to you without a man, what does that entice you to do? Wow, for every kid that I have, my lifestyle can improve because I'm going to get more of my income taxes. I'm going to get more welfare. I'm going to get more food stamps. I'm going to qualify for a bigger house for Section 8. So if I can get all this security without actually having a man with me, what the fuck is the point? That's how the Europeans taught our black women to think, that they're better off without us. They taught y'all. See, listen, my daughter's mother, my oldest daughter's mother, took me to child support court more times than she went on a job interview. I'm gonna say it again. My daughter's mother took me to child support court more times than she went on a job interview. And by the way, and I really don't care about the business being put out there because it's my life. I can say what the fuck I want. My daughter's mother has not worked a job in years. And even when my daughter was living with me full time, my daughter's lived with me for probably, about half of 2021, I was still paying child support then. Which didn't make sense to me, but the Philadelphia family court somehow figure out make that make sense. So let me ask y'all a question, right? My daughter's mother now has 3 kids. Mine, she has 2 by somebody else. She has not worked a job in years. She receives all these government assistance. She can still do whatever she wants to do without working a job. What entices my daughter's mother to want to work out anything with me? See, that's what she learned how to do. My daughter's mother learned how to use the courts to work out problems with me and not work them out between ourselves. See, black women have learned to let white men solve their problems in courtrooms and not solve their problems with their own fucking communities. That is the problem. That is the problem. We keep relying on these people who don't give a fuck about us. Think they're going to fix our communities. No. It starts with us. It starts with us. It starts with us. Do you support LGBTQ plus? I feel like you're trying to trap me into saying something's gonna get me canceled, so I'm not gonna answer that. I'm just gonna say I love everybody. It's sad the government favors those with kids than people who have no kids struggling. Exactly. But hold on. So ladies, I gotta start pushing some accountability back on y'all. Ladies, we can all agree that there are some ain't shit ass niggas out here that are men that is going to just knock you up and get you pregnant and leave you. We agree to that, right? So ladies, can we be accountable, right, of using methods to prevent you from having kids by these dudes, right? Because that's where it all starts, right? Ladies, you cannot have a child unless it's your fucking choice. Stop making it seem like a man trapped you or a man fucking forced you. No, he did not. Unless you were raped. We're not talking about rape. You're not talking about rape. That is a 3% rare. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the women who knew they was fucking with a drug dealer, who knew they was fucking with someone who didn't have any security, who knew they was fucking with a womanizer. Yet you let that man take that condom off. Let's talk about it. We all adults now. You let him take that condom off. You felt that raw penis go into you. You know the difference between skin and latex. You know the difference. You felt that raw skin go in you. You let him keep going. Then when you felt all that stuff shoot up in you, you didn't go get a plan B. You already wasn't on birth control. And then you say, I believe in having raw sex. I believe in having sex with men that are committed to me, but I don't believe in abortions. That's what I don't get. So you believe in being out here just getting hit by all these dudes with no condom, but you don't believe in abortions. That's what I don't understand. Oh, it goes against my religion. Well, does it go against your religion to fornicate in the first place? Like, so how are you gonna? It's just the logic. I mean, I'm not saying I'm pro-choice or pro-life. It's just the logic y'all have. And for ladies that think I don't understand what was kind of like, the last abortion I ever was a part of, I was probably 22 years old. It was a girl I was dating. I told her I would support any choice that you make. I said, that's what I told her. I said, I'll support any choice that you make, whether you want to go to this abortion hospital or clinic or whether you want to keep this baby, I'm with it. At first, she was with it. She wanted to do it. I was all hype. I was going to have a 3rd child. Then she said, you know what? I'm still in med school. This is not going to work. Yada yada yada. And she changed her mind. She changed her mind. She didn't ask me how I felt about it. She, hey, I'll have the kid. You take care of it. No, she just said, you know what? Don't want to do this. Don't want to do this. And I said, you know what? I support your decision. I went with her to the abortion clinic. It was one of the worst days of my life. Like, number one, when you go to an abortion clinic, you're going to see dozens of protesters out there. You're going to be standing out there with signs, don't do this, this is murder. Like that shit was really fucking with my soul. I was sitting there, I'm like, damn, man, they right. Like, then she was like, no, let's just go in. Then they made her see the fucking ultrasound before the abortion. Oh, man, that shit. Because I feel like at the abortion clinics, they really try to talk you out of it. And then I'm sitting in the waiting area, right? I'm sitting with my ex. And I literally hear women bragging about they're on their 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th abortion. Yes. If you ever been to an abortion clinic and you're sitting around some of them girls, let them get to talking. They'll tell you, oh yeah, this is my 5th time here. They do it. Look, the girl that was sitting next to us told my ex, oh, you don't worry, they do good work here. Like she comes there on a regular fucking basis, like it's a spa treatment. That's what you guys have to understand. There are a lot of people who get abortions and they abuse that system. They abuse that right. I honestly think there should be like a limit. I feel like there should be a limit. Cause all right, you made a mistake. Okay, all right. You made another mistake. All right. But 3, 4, 5 fucking abortions. Come on, man. Where is this world coming to? Where is this world coming to? And then women complain about there's no good black men out here. There's no good black men out here because you killing them before they even get born. Y'all killing all the black men before they get born. That's why ain't no good ones out here. Listen, guys, I would have been aborted if my dad would have gave my mom the money. My dad did not give my mom the money because he thought she was lying. And then 9 months later, he found out that she wasn't. So just imagine how many lives I would not have been able to touch if I was murdered in my mama's stomach. So that's why I just want you guys to really just think about what you can do to hold yourself accountable to you before you get there. Because this conversation is not about pro-life or pro-choice. It's about the black community. It's about the black community and how everything starts from the black family. Everything starts from the black family. Everything starts from us. Everything starts from black family. And when we keep spending all our time and resources in child support court and custody court, guess what? We're losing. I dare you. If you live in Philadelphia, I dare you to go to family court in Philadelphia. It's right downtown. It's right on like 15th, I think 15th and JFK. Go to 15th and JFK and go to the floor with child support and go to there's 2 different floors. One for custody, there's one for child support. I want you to go there and I want you to see how many black people you see sitting down every fucking day. Every time I go in there. It's only one family court, right? Philly has about 1.8 million people. Have about 1.8 million people, right? One family court for 1.8 million people. Black people only make up about maybe, I think like 38%. Like 38% of the Philadelphia's population, because you got Latinos, Asians, Caucasians, stuff like that, right? So you got one court for all the families in Philadelphia. Yet, when you walk in there, you only see black people. I'm not saying you don't see any white people in family court, but I can probably count on one hand how many times I've seen like white families in Philadelphia family court fighting over petty ass child support. Because here's the thing, right? It's not in their culture to do that. It's not in their culture to do that. It's not. It's in our culture to do that. I told you, my daughter's mother Went to family court more times than she went on a job interview. Because you know why? Her mom did the same thing. My daughter's mother, her mom, did that to her dad. It's a repeating cycle. Guys, I have been in family court since I was fucking born. My mom had me, had a deadbeat dad, was cursed from the start. Next thing you know, my mom started abusing me, not feeding me, not sending me to school. Then family court came and took me away from her. First broken family, right there. Right there. Right there. Then I stayed with my grandmom. I'm still in the family court system because she's like she's like playing like the role of my foster parent. I turned 16. I get my girlfriend pregnant. Next thing you know, I'm 18, 19 years old in family court again. But this time, not for my mom abusing me or anything like that. Now I'm in here because I told my daughter, Mom, I don't want to be with her anymore. And now she feels like, this is what she told me. I said, why did you put me on child support? She says, because I don't want to have to ask you for money and I don't like to wait. That's exactly what she said. I said, why am I on child support? Because I don't want to have to ask you for money. So that means she don't want no one to hold her accountable to the money she's spending for a child. You know what I'm saying? And then she said, I don't want to have to wait. So let me ask y'all a question. In what world do y'all live in where you don't care about when the man money comes in, how it works or whatever, you just want it and you want it now whenever you demand it? Yeah, I'm telling y'all from experience. I even had my daughter, my oldest one, took it away from me for a combined 3 years. 3 years. Let's talk about these family curses. 3 years. First time, my daughter's mother ran away, and I'm not coming at black people. I'm talking about black generational curses. This is black generational curses. The first time my daughter was 3, my daughter's mom had got a new boyfriend. Me and the boyfriend didn't get along because she told him that I used to beat her or some crap like that. I used to go see my daughter in daycare almost every day. One day, I came to her daycare. This was right on Germantown and Chew. Right on, not Germantown and Chew, on Chew and Shelton. It was like this daycare on Chew and Shelton. I'll never forget. I walked in there and I think I was on a vacation or something like that. I was out of town for a while. So I came in, I'm like, hey, where's Lala at? And they said, Lala got transferred. She hasn't been here in weeks. And I'm like, what? I'm like, well, what daycare is she in now? They didn't know. So remember, guys, I'm like 19, 20 at the time, right? I didn't know what to do. I went to her house. She wasn't there. I'm calling, not there. I go to the daycare, not there. And I'm like, okay. And guess what? She don't have a job. Remember, my baby mom, she never really had a job. So it's like, you know, I never could find her. So then I called the police. I called the police. I said, hey, I think something's wrong. My daughter is missing. She's not in school. Her mom is nowhere to be found. Yada, yada, yada. They told me, the cops told me that that's a civil issue and I also do not have a custody order. So when my daughter's mom ran away and kidnapped my daughter away from me, at this time it was 6 months, nothing happened to her legally. Because they said I didn't have custody. So technically, and I'm like, so wait a minute. I have to go to court to file for custody just so if my daughter was to come up missing to be able to say she's missing? What the fuck is that? What is that? So I said, you know what? Cool. Say no fucking more. Went and filed for custody. Guys, guess how long it took me to get a court date? Took me 4 months to get a court date. 4 months. 4 months to get a court date. Then, when the court date comes up, she didn't show up. She didn't show up. The judge picks up the phone, calls her. Hey, where are you at? You know you had a court hearing today. Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have the way to get there. Yada, 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 yada. Judge just lets her ride. All right, cool. We wanted to reschedule this, and third. Make sure you come today. Yada, yada, yada. So then she got another couple weeks for the next. No, you got another week for the court date. And then by that time, I just got custody. I got partial custody, stuff like that. And I got my daughter back. Right? So that was strike one. Then again, this time it was for a year and a half. This one's for a year and a half. So long story short, my daughter, she's like probably in like the 4th grade now. She's about 10 at this time. And she is just being extremely disrespectful towards me. I don't know if it was from my daughter watching her mom and how her mom treats me, but when she got to 10, my oldest daughter started getting like real like disrespectful. And one day, what did she do? She did something in school. Cause I had this app. So if you got a kid that goes to the Philadelphia school district, it's this app called like Class Dojo. So it was an app called Class Dojo, and I was like talking to her teacher like nonstop, and her teacher was telling me that like she keeps disrupting other kids. She flagged all teachers as being this disrespectful. So when I picked her up from school, I had already had a new violin from her. I was supposed to start her in violin class, stuff like that. And I said, Lala, even though I got you this violin and stuff, I found out what you've been doing in school. So you know I'm gonna have to punish you, right? So punishing to me, usually, putting them in timeout. She's a little too old to get like a little slap or whatever, or a little pat on the butt. But what she said to me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I lost my temper. She said, if you put your hands on me or if you punish me, I'm gonna get my boyfriend to beat you up. And I'm like I was literally driving when she said that, and what the fuck did you just say to me? And I'm thinking like, yo, if I ever was to say something like that to my grandmom or to my family members, I would not be alive to do this live right now. And I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. When she said that to me, as a human, as a dad, I got triggered. I'm a single dad. I apologize, but I got triggered. I said, okay, well, since you're 10 and you want to talk like you're grown, I'm gonna get that ass 10 licks. So, but matter of fact, no, I didn't even do that. I called my grandmom. That's what I did. I called my grandmom because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, grandmom, Lala keeps talking to me crazy. She's doing this in school, yada, 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 yada. And my grandma was like, well, you know what you got to do? I said, what? My grandma said, you know what you have to do. I said, grandma, I don't really want to give her the belt, man. And then she said, well, what you calling me for? Because that's all I'm going to do. And I said, all right, let me try this. And people that are girl dads, if you ever had to like punish your daughter, it is literally one of the most damaging parts of your life. But like that particular day, like I just had to do something. So I gave her ass. Matter of fact, I didn't give her 10. I gave her 5 licks. But what happened was when I was trying to hit her butt with the belt, she kept trying to like cover her butt with her hand, and one of the belt hit like her arm one time, and she had got like a little like warp on her arm from the belt, right? So, after it was done, I cried like a girl. I cried when I gave my daughter her beating. I cried. That shit really hurted me more than it hurt her. And I held her. I hold my big ass 10-year-old. I held her, and I was telling her how sorry I was. I was telling her that this is how I was raised, and it's not right. And I don't like what this done to you. I regretted it literally right afterwards. And we had the longest talk ever. And I promised her I will never put my hands on you again. So she goes to school. one of the only jobs my baby mom had was her working at the school my daughter was going to. My daughter goes to school, and of course my grandmom didn't teach me about whooping their ass on Friday so they could have the weekend to heal. So that's what my grandma would do. My grandma whooped my ass on Friday, so I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday to heal. But since I whooped her ass on Thursday, she literally went to school with a fresh little, sore ass. And she told her mom, which I would have did, I ain't got no shame. I went to go pick up my daughter from school that day. They told me I couldn't come in. I said, excuse me? She said, yeah, we don't have nothing to do with this. It's in the court's hands. So what happened was, during the time that my baby mom was supposed to be working, she found the time to leave work, go to the police department. She filed a police report against me. Then she went to court and filed for a protection from abuse, which is like a restraining order between me and my daughter. Then because whenever you file for a PFA, a protection from abuse, they're going to automatically grant you a temporary one. Even if it's not legit, they're going to automatically grant you a temporary PFA. She got back. She did all this during the time my daughter was in school. She got back, gave the principal the PFA paperwork, and now I couldn't see my daughter. So what happened after that, I went and hired a lawyer. We went to family court. And the reason why I'm talking about this right now, because everything I told y'all, I told that fucking judge. I stood on it. I'm like, yes, Your Honor. I looked up my rights, and it's actually a law. It's called capital punishment. Capital punishment is the law that gives me the right as a parent to discipline my child, as long as I'm not using a weapon or trying to cause her serious harm. And that's why I hired a lawyer. You are legally allowed to beat your children. You just cannot use weapons. So where I messed up was I used a belt. I told the judge, I said, Judge, I'm a grown-ass man with a big-ass hand. Even me hitting my daughter soft is not going to do anything. And I'm like, it's a belt. I'm telling the judge, I'm like, Judge, you even probably got beaten with a belt before. Like, this was literally how I was talking to the judge. And I showed the judge proof. I said, my daughter was losing her fucking mind in school. What would y'all rather me do? Have her keep advancing and have her stab somebody in the next grade? I had to draw the line there. So pretty much, the judge was like, okay, let's do this. The mother shall retain custody of the child for 3 months. Then we're going to revisit this, and then we're going to put the custody back to normal. Because I felt like since my daughter was being so traumatized by all these events, I just said, you know what? How about you go with your mom for right now, and let me get my mental together. Because I felt like I need therapy at that point, and I did, and I went and got therapy right after that. I wanted to show the judge, like, yo, I really don't ever want that to happen again. But guys, guess what happened? When that 3rd month came, that's when COVID started. And I don't know if you guys were going to family court during COVID. When COVID first started in March of 2020, all the courts got shut down instantly. All the courts got shut down. And because the courts got shut down and schools were also shut down, I couldn't go up to my daughter to school and see her because they wasn't letting kids in school at the time. They were not seeing nobody in court. They didn't even start virtual court to a year after COVID started. Then after a couple months, they're letting people in person. So my daughter mom used COVID as a way to keep me from my daughter for over a year. Guys, I got so fucking depressed. I said, you know what? I got to move somewhere, because if I stay in this city, knowing that my daughter is here and I can't see her, I'm going to do something I'm going to regret. So that's when I moved to Vegas. And I literally, guys, I will show you guys the fucking receipts. I paid over $3,500 for a private investigator. I paid every influencer in Philly to post that my daughter was missing until somebody gave me some information. Then eventually, I got a court date. And by the time, and all this time, my daughter is not seeing her daddy for damn near a year and some change. So this court hearing was virtual. It was over the Zoom. And guess what, guys? I didn't even see a judge. I seen a master. And let me tell y'all the difference between a judge and a master. A master is pretty much someone who can't really do shit but acts like a judge. And a judge is actually the person that can, boom, this is law. So we get on the Zoom, court hearing. First thing I said to this master, that's what they call masters. I said, listen, this woman has been violating my court order for months. There's no more PFA. All that is done finito. And I can't, she didn't even let me talk to my daughter on the fucking phone. It wasn't just not seeing her. I couldn't even talk to her. Her voice, I didn't talk to my daughter in so fucking long. I almost didn't recognize her fucking voice when I finally did talk to her. That's how much she grown in that year and a half. And guys, I started losing my fucking mind on that Zoom. I said, listen, I am not letting anyone off this fucking Zoom until I get my daughter back. And then my lawyer muted me and stuff like that. And pretty much what happened after that was my lawyer said that if you do not let this man see his child and file this court order, I'm gonna do everything possible that I can to put you in jail for contempt. And at the time, she was pregnant. So she was probably scared, like, fuck, I don't risk getting locked up and I'm pregnant right now. Let this man see his kid. Right after that court date, my daughter called me. And I cried. I haven't seen her or talked to her, so I didn't recognize her voice. She literally sounded like a teenager. And that time that my daughter mom took from me, I could never get back. And then the curse that caused. You guys, you know how much I have to talk to my daughter to teach her that what happened was not okay? Because now I don't want my daughter to do that to the father of her children. Because if she do, this will be the third generation that happened. Maybe even the fourth. So that's all my goal right now is to break the generational curses at the root. And it starts with the family. Now, was I completely innocent in the situation? No. After I fought her boyfriend a couple times, I did get my sister to whoop her ass. I'm not gonna lie. Like, listen, I'm still from Philly. I had my sister pull up, whoop her ass. We did have some heated arguments where I said hurtful things, they said hurtful things. But at the end of the day, I'm willing to put anything behind me if it's for my kids. When it comes to my kids, I will humble myself real quick. You know what I'm saying? So the reason I'm telling y'all this story, right? I don't want y'all to believe that I have a vendetta against black women or all women are horrible or shit like that. Because this all started with Kevin Samuels. You see, this live was never about Kevin Samuels directly. It was more about the message. I'm not going to say all the messages, but some of the messages he was trying to get across. And what can we do better? What can we do better for the men and the women? So I want to end it like this, right? So, and where is it Kevin Samuels, right? When he talks about a high value man, right? At one point, I thought I was high value even when I wasn't, just because I had money, right? Fellas, having money is not the sole and only thing that makes you high value. Being a high value man could just being secure emotionally and mentally. That's a high value man. A high value man knows how to respect himself and others. A high value man never settles for the minimum. A high value man always strives for more. It's not necessarily a dollar amount. So don't think this because you got some fucking money and you can pay some bills that by default makes you a high value man, because it don't. It don't. Another thing I'm gonna tell fellas: stop being afraid that telling your woman the truth will push her away. I will tell you from experience, I have dated some of the most beautiful, successful women. And when I was upfront about my needs and my expectations, guess what? They respected me for giving them a choice. Matter of fact, fellas, I'm gonna give y'all some raw shit. Fellas, y'all want like a raw story? Something I just did recently? I'm gonna give y'all a real raw story, right? So this is a couple months ago. I had got interviewed on this podcast by this beautiful black sister. Beautiful, like woman. She had like tattoos of Malcolm X on her leg. She was tall, caramel, coffee, short hair, had it going on. So don't ever think I don't love black women. I do. So here's the situation. I'm in the Dominican Republic. You know, me and her, we've been vibing, we've been talking. And I said, yo, won't you come fly down here and vibe with me for a little bit? And she said, oh, you know, can I bring my friend? And I'm like, well, if you bring your friend, I ain't paying for you. Like, if I'm flying you out, like, that's the type of time I'm on. So she pretty much told me, like, I'm getting flying out, but I'm not trying to fuck right now because, you know, I'm on my celibate time. So, you know what I told her? And fellas, be honest. They will fuck with you. This is a woman who is almost 30, successful, no kids. I would label her a good 8.5. She was nice. She was nice. I told her, I said, well, don't worry about that. If you come down here and don't want to have sex, I'm completely fine with that because there are plenty of Dominican women that will have sex with me whenever I want. And I told her that. And guess what? She still came. She still came. Why? Because I was up front. I basically said, well, hey, ain't no pressure to fuck me because I already got access to unlimited women. I just want to fly you down here and catch a vibe with you because when you're in a place where sex is really easy to get, it loses its value. Now I don't really care about that. Now I'm grateful to have a good vibe with someone to be like, yo, can we actually talk? Can we have good conversations? Can we share good experiences? So I told her that. I said, listen, you know, if you come down here and if you don't want to, you know, you don't want to have sex, I'm still going to do my thing. They ain't got nothing to do with you. But just know I got needs. And if you're not trying to meet my needs, I'm gonna get somebody that will. But that has nothing to do with you. But guess what? She still came. She still put up to the telly. I ain't gonna get into all the details. She still pulled up. And she was cool with it. So fellas, that's what I'm gonna tell you. If you keep it one now, if I were to flew her down here, oh no, I'm cool with celibacy, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna be all into you and whatever. And then she see me looking at the mommies and all that stuff like that. She would have blacked out and probably called me weird. But because, you know what? I asked her, I said, yo, what made you like cool with coming down here, you know, peeping the situation? She said, I respect the fact that you gave me a choice. Keyword, men, choice. Women just want the choice to say yes or no to whatever situation you're about to fucking put them in. If you have a baby mom that you know that's crazy, that you know that be drawn and you still be fucking her sometimes, tell the girl that you are pursuing, you will be surprised that she might even fucking help you with that situation. Well, hey, listen, maybe we can take her to court, this, that, I'm telling you. But what women don't like, y'all don't like surprises. Yeah, be careful, DR. Oh, yeah, for sure. I know that. You know what I'm saying? But all the point I'm trying to make is, fellas, keep it 100. If you want to date multiple women, tell her. If you want to fuck other women, tell her. But don't tell her after she's all in her feelings and you sold her on this fucking lie and shit like that. Those are the conversations you have date 1, 2, and 3. Date 1, 2, and 3, fellas, you need to be laying out your expectations. Women don't like being made a fool of. Exactly. Because the thing is, you can't make a fool of your girl she already knew. Because look, I'll give you an example, right? My ex in Vegas, I had flew back to Philly. I had linked up with an old friend of mine. We, wanted to have some fun. And she basically tried to extort me because she knew I had a girl. And she said, I want this. She wanted like this Gucci clutch bag. It was like $600. And I'm like, I'm not buying you that. And she basically said, well, if you don't buy me this bag, I'm gonna tell your girl that you know what I mean, that we did what we did. You know what I said? Go ahead. She already know. If anything, she's gonna laugh at you because you're still working and she's not. Like legit, like my ex was so dope. Like she would have laughed at the girl and said, well, you got a $600 bag, I got a $500,000 house. You still go to work and you're struggling every day while the minute Aaron get back, he's taking me to Mexico. I'm telling you. And my ex was beautiful. You don't gotta, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, fellas, just be up front. But also, I will say this. The more honest you are, the more money you have to have. The more honest you are. If you want to be with women and stuff like that, your bag gotta match. Your bag gotta match. And someone said earlier that all the Dominican girls are after you for your money. You know why the Dominican girls are after me for my money? Cause most of them don't speak English, and there's no value I can bring to a Dominican girl but dick and money. So of course, listen, if a girl didn't speak English and she just real pretty, what more can I want from her? But so let's go back to you having the bag right? So let's say you're a man and you still like to play around every now and then. See, it's different levels to it. You got some men that like to have 2 or 3 girlfriends. You got some men that like to just go out of town. See, I'm the type of man, I don't like having multiple girlfriends. I like having one main girlfriend I'm investing in. But I also like when I go on vacations or if I'm having fun, I like to do my thing. It's always safe. I'm always strapped up and all that. But that's the type of dude I am. And fellas, you'll be surprised when I tell that to women and they be like, well, shit, at least you honest. But then when I tell them what I do for a living, but I also have an online business that generate, a lot of money. So, you know what I mean? This situation, it might not be perfect, but it'll be worth it. Haven't had any complaints yet. Listen, the only arguments I ever had in my relationships was my temper. Me and my exes, we never broke up from infidelity. I was dealing with other women. It was always my temper. Ask any of them. Aaron is an amazing dude and all that, but he has a bad temper. And that's when I learned more about myself. I had to learn more ways of stress management, on how to control my energy, stuff like that. But guess what? It was never because of lying and infidelity. So fellas, money, make them deal with it. All right. I'm not saying money makes a woman deal with you having multiple chicks. It's just that, all right, if you're a man and you're dealing with multiple women, what does she get out of that? Fellas, answer that for me. If you're a man and you're out here running through hundreds of chicks, what does your main shorty get out of that? Answer that. It's not the time to question. I want a man to answer that. If you're out there doing your thing, what is she getting out of that? Can she go fuck other guys too? See, hey, if she can go fuck other guys too, then hey, that's a fair deal. But the woman is like, okay, if you're gonna go do your own thing, and I'm not gonna go fuck other guys, I'm also not gonna work hard either. So your bag needs to be right. So he's telling this girl she can't fuck other guys, right? She gotta cook, clean, do all this extra shit, and she still has to work hard at her 9-to-5 job. No woman's gonna agree to that. They need the money to feel comfortable in the situation. Exactly. It's the money. Money is just another word for security. When you guys think, when you think about money, what money is to women, money equals security. Money equals security. So understand that. The bigger your bag, The bigger your bag, the more the woman is going to feel financially secure with you. And the more honest you are, the more emotionally secure she will feel with you. So I'm going to say it again. The more honest you are with a woman, the more emotionally secure she feels with you. The more money you have or you generate, the more financially secure she will feel with you. And with those two securities, do whatever you want. I wouldn't say money fixes everything, but it can fix a lot of things. It can fix a lot of things. The bigger your bag, the more. But also, I will say this too, right? 'Cause I'm about to get back to the ladies too, so let me finish up with the fellas. Fellas, don't write off the girls that don't make that much money. Don't write off the girls that don't make over $20 an hour and stuff like that. Because let me tell you something, right? I've dated wealthy women. I dated women that made high incomes. I dated women that came from rich families. And the value that a woman can bring to you when she doesn't have that much to offer is crazy. Like, I felt like my exes who didn't make that much money went above and beyond to make me happy. Because they knew, like, all right, I have a cute face, a nice body, and a cute person and a nice personality. That's pretty much all I got right now. I don't make a lot of money. I don't want to pay my own bills. So now I have to compensate for that. Now it's like for example, right? When I was dating my ex that didn't make that much money, I was getting head every day. Didn't have to ask. I had meals cooked for me, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm talking acai bowls, shrimp and grits, all of that. Sometimes I used to just challenge her. Like, yo, let me just find a recipe online and have you knock yourself out. And yes, I did have to give her, I would say an allowance, but I would throw her a couple dollars and whatever. But the thing is, fellas, when you don't have to worry about groceries, we don't have to worry about getting a nut off because she already taking care of that. When you got a woman that's taking care of all that, watch how much more money you will make. The most money I made was with the brokest girl I dated. Figure me that. I made the most money with the brokest girl I was with. Why? Because she knows she had to compensate for what she didn't have. Versus when I was dealing with the lawyers and the doctors and all that, everything was about their fucking career. They're always tired. Yo, I dated a lawyer that never cooked for me. Never. She was from the South. Country and all that. But because she was a lawyer and she was tired, I ain't never get no cooked meal. I ain't never get no head without asking. She was always tired or, I got to work on this and work on that. So that's when I realized for me, what works best for me is, I'm not going to say broke women. I'm not going to say, I purposely go after broke women. I just go after more homely women. Like women that's more on like I'm not going to say this is a straight up housewife, but kind of like a hybrid of the two. Like, okay, you know how to take care of a home, but if I put you in position, you can make sure this bag is right too. Because my ex, even though she wasn't generating a lot of money, I put her in positions in my company where she would generate me more money, so it would justify me giving her money. See, fellas, when you got good plays, you're never really giving your woman money. She's earning it. Shit, I hire all my girlfriends. I don't hire them directly and give them a W-2 and shit like that. But I'll be like, yo, can you do me a favor? Take care of these emails, take care of this, that, and that. And you know what I mean? I got a little something for you. And then me and my ex, we just had this system where it just worked. But then, and I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm needy. I'm light-skinned and I'm needy. And y'all successful women, y'all always be the fuck at work. I don't work a regular job. I be in a house and I be lonely. So yeah. Listen, let me tell you what type of boyfriend I am. The first week I met my ex, I moved her in and we were in a relationship for like 7 months. That would never have worked with a doctor or with a lawyer. See, that's how I live my life. Like, I might decide one day, yo, I want to go to Africa. I want to go live in South Africa for 3 months. If you're a career woman that spent your whole life trying to become a lawyer or a doctor, most of y'all are not going to walk away from that. But my ex, what? If I say, yo, we moving to fucking Istanbul tomorrow, as long as I'm paying for it, she's out. But when you're a career woman, even if you got a man with a crazy bag, a lot of y'all are not willing to walk away from your careers to follow a man. That's the only reason why I'm not really with the career woman, because I'm never going to follow your lead. I'm never going to follow your lead. I am the leader. That's it's not toxic. That's in relationships. If you don't want that, don't get in a relationship with me. See, look, you see how I'm giving you a choice. I'm giving you some women love to be led. Some people love to not have to make decisions all the time. You know what I'm saying? Some women like to be in their feminine. There are a lot of women like to be in their feminine. They don't want to have to worry about the bills. They don't want to worry about this. They just want to just take care of you, suck you off, lick you, make you feel like a fucking man. And that's all I need. I don't need my girl to make 6 figures. I don't need her to, I don't need all that, man. Just give me peace. Give me respect. And follow my lead. Hold on, ladies. This is gonna hurt y'all. This is gonna hurt y'all, ladies. Follow my lead even when you don't agree. See, fellas, I'm gonna hurt them with that one. Follow my lead even when you don't agree. You see, when I was in the army, right? No, let me explain it to you. When I was in the army, there were so many things that I did not understand, but I had to rely on the leadership of my platoon sergeant to make sure I stay alive. Ladies, questioning your man over every fucking decision is nagging. That's nagging. When a man say, yo, you got to do this, that, and the third, and he has to explain every single detail for you to wait for you to agree, what? So let me ask you a question. Do I have to have a conversation with you before I pay your bills, or I just give you the money and you take it? It's crazy when it comes to money, women don't ever ask where it's coming from. Y'all never say, why did you give me so much? No, y'all just take it, no questions asked. But if anything else, yo, I'm about to go do this. I'm about to go invest in this, that, and that, and that, and that. Well, I don't agree with that. Well, I'm not telling you to agree with. I'm the leader. And the thing is, you choose the man you choose because you trust his fucking leadership. Why are you dating a man if you don't trust his fucking leadership? Y'all contradicting yourselves. That sounds like control. Okay. So do you want to be led or not? When you're being led is not questioning the person every way. That's nagging. That's nagging. You got with this man because you trust his leadership. You had a child by this man because you wanted to procreate with him and you wanted your child to be like him. So ladies, let me ask you a question. When y'all decide to procreate with a man, do you or do you not want your child to be just like that man? You want that child to have leadership qualities, the whatever traits that you like in that man, you want your child to have the same thing, because that's why you're having a child by them, right? Why are you having a child by a man, or why are you getting a relationship with a man if you don't trust his leadership? If you don't want your children to duplicate how he is? Now insight is a whole different thing, right? Insight is a whole different thing. Now, I'm not talking about a dictatorship. A dictatorship is everything is my way, no questions asked, boom, 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 right? Leadership is, girl, you learn as you go. Ladies, I am very fucking intelligent. If I had to stop everything I do and explain shit to you all day, every day, I would never get anything done. Okay, so Mary, let's talk about crypto. So if I was to create you a blockchain by tomorrow and put over 50,000 mogul coins on it, would you know what to do with that? Probably the fuck not.
So you think I'm gonna sit here and wait for you to agree and for you to understand for me to make a move with some fucking crypto? How do you think I got so fucking rich so young? I'm not even 30 yet and I made millions of dollars. Cause I am, see, ladies, and this is probably the only thing I probably will take from the Bible, right? When a man is in his masculine, right? When a man is in his masculine, his true, pure energy, right? He is being led by a godly force you as a woman would never fucking understand. Just like how women have, intuition, where you know a man's cheating on you and you guys know all these and you know how. The same way as a woman has intuition, the same way as a woman has intuition, we have leadership. Women have intuition, men have leadership. That's what you guys have to understand. We are programmed to lead. All right, so ladies, all right, so how about this? Y'all want to be leaders? I want y'all, when y'all in bed with y'all man, I want, when y'all hear noise downstairs, I want you to go check. Since y'all don't want us to be the leader. Since you want to question everything, what's that downstairs? Oh, go ahead, babe, go check. You always want to question everything, go ahead, go see what's down there. Ladies, dating a man that's a leader is a learn as you earn process, right? I would probably say there were maybe 2 women I dated that trusted me 100%. Like my most recent situation, this girl gave me her social, her ID, access to all her credit reports, power of attorney. Hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. She gave me power of attorney, credit cards, or credit reports, all that, right? And then one of her hating ass fucking girlfriends was like, "Oh, why are you giving him all that information? I wouldn't trust that, you know, yada. And then she said, because I trust him. And I know that seems like you like projects. I do. All men like projects. I don't want to get a woman that was built up by another nigga. I want you to get built up by me. I don't want you to come with me with another dude baggage. Yeah, I love projects. I love them. But I don't want to have to work on your emotions. That's your job. Listen, I will help you get a bag. I will help change your life. I'll do all these things. But I'm not helping you with your emotions. That's something you gotta go to therapy for. But the thing is, if you chose me to be your man, that means you respect my leadership. So don't question me after I start cuffing you, you know? My charger at. We all come with baggage as humans, right? But what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is, ladies, and ladies, I know it's hard for a lot of y'all to accept leadership from a man because it starts with your dad. See, ladies, a lot of your dads were not real men. And I hate to tell y'all the truth, a lot of your dads were beta males. A lot of y'all were raised or had beta men in your life. So then when a real nigga comes in your life, I'm not used to that. That's too much. I'm scared. See, a lot of y'all women are used to telling your man what to do. Picking his clothes, telling him what he should do, trying to motivate him. I never need no woman to motivate me. That's beta male shit. I need my woman to motivate me. I need my woman for this. I need. That's why y'all women feel like y'all have to do so fucking much. There's a lot of shit y'all don't have to do. But because I used to dealing with some of these fucking beta males, your dads, your fucking brothers. Hold on, let me come in. Oh, I'm about to come for y'all brothers too. Some of y'all brothers were fucking beta males. Your brothers wasn't leaders. Your uncles wasn't leaders. Your dad wasn't a leader. And your grandpa wasn't a leader. So then when y'all meet a real nigga, that shit too much for y'all. Oh my God, why did he want to pay my rent? He must be crazy. Oh my, I'm not used to this. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the trauma y'all need to fix with the men in your lives. This is accept the fact. A lot of y'all dads, because the thing is, ladies, y'all can't talk shit about men and not talk shit about y'all dads. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about black men, black men. Well, you know, your dad is also a black man, right? Yeah, yeah. So what you're saying is your dad also isn't shit either, which means his dad wasn't shit. So you basically saying you learned nothing but from ain't shit ass niggas. So how would you know if a real one come into your life? See, yo, I always talk to women about their dads. I always talk to women about their dads. So what type of dad did you have? I meet women that got dads that still to this day send them money, tell them that they're beautiful, stuff like that. I know some women that don't even talk to their dads. I know women that don't even know their fucking dad. Think about how much that fucks a woman head up. It's one thing for a man not to know his dad, but a woman, the first man that was supposed to love you abandoned you? The first man that loved you abandoned you? That is some psychological shit. Imagine you as a woman is looking for a man to provide and nurture you, but you never had that experience growing up as a child. You never, cause you know why I understand women so much better? When I had daughters. Guess what? Women, right? Y'all are still little girls. Like when I see what a grown woman does compared to what my daughter does, it's the same exact thing, just in a different body. Y'all will turn 30 years old, still act bratty, still what's up? Still throw temper tantrums. It just changes a little bit when you get older. But in reality, men are boys at heart and women are girls at heart. And ladies, y'all can relate to that. It's probably some things that you loved ever since you was a child, like maybe getting held. Like, for example, I will meet women that will literally cry if I didn't hold them. And I'm like, yo, my arm is falling asleep, stuff like that. Because that's the little girl in you. That's the little girl that need that feel safe and wrap around me and all that stuff. So just understand how the difference works. And some men are the same way, like my son. Do you want your daughter to be with a man exactly like you? Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell people, my daughter, people know I got a girlfriend. Yup, my daughter. And I don't mean that in no nasty, freaky way, but listen, that's who I go on dates with. That's who I buy flowers for. Like, anything I ever done for a girlfriend, I did to my daughter. Go look on my page. I flew my daughter out. My daughter been on private jets. I like my daughter, like literally, it'll be no man, probably till he's about 40, they'll be able to match the shit I done for my daughter. And that's what dads are supposed to do. Dads are supposed to set the bar that their daughter's boyfriend is supposed to meet. But if it's never a man in a woman's life to set that bar, women have to go out there and learn through experiences of getting treated like shit until they find out what they gotta take, what they gotta do. Those are still girls by character, not grown women. Trust me. Just like, for example, men, we like playing video games. That's something that's childish. You can try to dress it up. Oh, it's Call of Duty, it's 2K. No, you're playing a video game like you did when you were a kid, because you're a boy at heart. There's a lot of shit as a grown man, we still are kids at heart, because that's where we learned everything from. That's what made us who we are. The shit that happened to you as a child help shape your personality and who you are. So, fellas, that's what I'm gonna say for y'all. And for the ladies, right? For the ladies, listen, Kevin Samuels, right? Kevin Samuels, I don't play games, I'm grown. Listen, ladies, let's just go back to Kevin Samuels real quick, right? Kevin Samuels said a lot of fucked up shit. He did. He said a lot of fucked up shit. However, I've learned to, even when someone's saying something fucked up, right? Because I honestly thought Kevin Samuels was a comedian. I thought he was a comedian that was trying to give us some gems in his comedy. Because that's all I looked at. I never took that seriously. When he called girls Fat Shirley and all that. Because Kevin was playing a character. They killed Kevin because he spoke the truth, sadly. And guess what? Right? His truth don't have to be your truth, right? His truth don't have to be your truth. Ladies, there is some general truth to what he says. So, all right, I'm gonna hit on the things, and I'm gonna wrap this up. Right? I'm gonna hit on things that I feel like that are facts, and anything outside of that, I'm not with. Oh, just to let you guys know, from the information I got, they said Kevin Samuels died from a heart attack, and I kind of went over it a little bit earlier in the live, that as black men, our top causes of death is heart disease, prostate cancer, and colon cancer. So please, man, take care of yourselves. But to get back to Kevin, let's talk about some facts. Is it a fact? I just want people to say yes or no. Yes or no. Is it a fact that there are more eligible single black women, than there are available black men? Is that not a fact? That is a fact. I just told you. Jail, gay, married, broke. There's four groups of people. There's four groups of men that's gone. So probably for every one good man, there's probably like 10 good women. All right, cool. So we can agree on that. Right? Now, can we also agree, right? Men go to strip clubs. Men like looking at girls with BBLs. If you go down our timeline, you see nothing but ass and titties, because men are visual creatures. Can we agree on that? Yes or no? Men are visual creatures. We love strip club. You know what I mean? Like watching music videos, shaking ass. You watch any rap videos, ass and titties everywhere. Men are visual. Can we all agree on that? Because this was some of the truths that Kevin was speaking that I actually agreed to. Okay. So this is one thing he brought up a lot, right? When women want to have kids. So let's say you're a woman, right? You're a woman and you want to have, let's say 3 kids. Right? Do you honestly believe, right, that you can live the lifestyle you want and have 3 kids with a man that's making $60,000? I want only the ladies to answer this. Do you believe you can have 3 kids or more and live the lifestyle you want with a man that makes $60,000 a year? Y'all about to have to follow Polly. It's not enough straight alpha males. And the sad thing is it's true. Listen, I be meeting some single moms. Listen, if I could, I would just round up all the single moms I can and just take care of y'all. Y'all just take care of me. We could just be one big happy family. See, single moms be with their poly shit. It be the woman that don't got kids that don't be with their poly shit. But women that got kids, you gonna take care of them? Shit, come on, we moving in tomorrow. See, not with 60K. Nope, negative. So with that being said, right? The average black man makes $60,000 a year. We already agreed if you want more than 2 kids, the average man literally cannot afford you. So we disagree. The average man cannot afford the average woman. Right? No, but I make money too. Okay, great. You make money too, right? Now, my only question is, right, ladies, for the man that makes $60,000 a year, and you said, I make my own money, I can help him. Are you willing, and I want you to really think about this, are you willing to give that man that makes $60,000 a year the same respect that you're going to give the man that makes $1 million a year and can do way more for you? Because that's what I learned. I learned that my respect for women went up with my level of being able to provide. It's like, if I can provide this much, I get this much respect. But if I'm going to provide this much, I get this much respect. Because you guys have to understand how women used to, men, you guys have to understand how women used to choose men. It was never off of your personality or if you got a good conversation. Women used to choose their men based off of who was the strongest and best provider. Provider. That's how women used to choose their men. It wasn't, oh, he has good sex or oh, you know, he has good hair or whatever. Is no. Who has the better chance for my survival? That's who I want to be with. So that's why it's so much pressure on men to make more money, because we know that at the root, that's what women look for. You guys look for security. Respect from what kind of woman, though? Low quality, I'm sure. I mean, it can go hand in hand, but the way I try to look at it is like, fellas, so I'm going back to the fellas, right? Fellas, stop swinging above your weight class. Stop it. Because they're going to keep making memes about you. They're going to keep talking shit. Men, stop swinging above your weight class. If you see a girl that's wearing Gucci and Louis, and you go on her Instagram, and she's taking a bunch of trips, and you know you make $60,000 a year, do not slide in her DM. You cannot afford her. She is literally telling you, I'm only dealing with men that can give me this type of lifestyle. So fellas, don't get mad at the woman. They tell you their type before you even slide in their DM. Like, seriously, I could always look at a woman and tell, yeah, you're going to be expensive. Or, nope, that's TJ Maxx right there. See, there's all different types of women. You got Saks, you know what I'm saying? You got Neiman Marcus, and you got the TJ Maxx. But guess what? I love TJ Maxx. I would definitely mess with a TJ Maxx girl. But I also understand, if I go for the Neiman Marcus or Saks chick, I know I gotta pay that tab. But still, they slide. Electric slide, to be exact. So ladies, am I right about that? Like, ladies, do y'all put out like signs to keep men from swinging above their weight class? Like, is it like things that you do to be like, yo, I know if I carry myself like this, a broke dude not even want to approach me? Like, because I feel like that's what y'all do. I feel like y'all put like y'all pictures on yachts, y'all Gucci, Louis. So y'all basically saying, look, if you want this, it's going to cost. A lot of them be capping with the fake Gucci. I'm at Nordstrom. But fellas, that's all I'm saying. Stop getting mad at women when they're clearly showing you who they are. And I'm not talking about all, I'm talking about the women that's in that category. The women that's bougie. Trust me, they want to show you who you are. I never met a bougie woman that didn't flaunt what she had. I never met a bougie woman that didn't flaunt what she had. So when you see that, don't get mad, to stay away. You said that don't matter, they'll still try. See, what I don't like is when they still try and then they end up getting a girl, and then, because that's another thing fellas do too. When you do swing above your weight class, a lot of times you're getting them with lies. You're getting them with lies. You talking real heavy. Like, I've met so many women that said, yo, I thought this dude was getting money. I went to go see him. I found out he was sharing an apartment with his man, yada, yada, yada. So it's also, there's men fucking the game up. There are men fucking the game up. Y'all be sliding these girls' DM. Y'all be catfishing them. So men catfish too. We don't do it with our face. They do it with their money. See, catfishing with money is anytime a dude talk heavy, like, yeah, I'll fly you out, this, that, and third. Fellas, don't talk about flying no girl out if you don't got it. Don't even start talking that. Cause you know what happens? The dudes that really do fly girls out, they're not gonna believe me when I tell them. Cause there's so many dudes that's capping, oh, you know, fly out, I'll give you the money when you get here, stuff like that. Y'all fucking up the game. It's men fucking the game up. Just like women fucking the game up too. No, real shit though. No, real shit. Like, and then it's be dudes that be flying these shorties out and giving them like horrible times. So let's just put that out there, right? Fellas, a woman pulling up on you and not giving you ass is a part of the game. I had it happen to me. I flew to Puerto Rico, nice little baddie. She was not trying to give up the ass. She said the exact words, oh, what you thought this trip was going to guarantee you some pussy? You got to work harder than that. And I respect it, charged it to the game. It happens. But what a lot of y'all dudes do, Y'all a lot of these women make it seem like y'all really want to fuck with them, this, that, and the third. Listen, women will travel and not expect sex. Trust me. I'm not saying all of them, but there are a few. They will fly to you and come see you and not let you fuck, because a lot of women don't fuck off of entitlement. They fuck off of emotion. Say, yo, do I have a vibe? See, if the vibe is right, I might fuck the first night. But the vibe not there, it might take you 3 months. Oh, I want to hear this one. Jasmine said, woo, I went to Puerto Rico with a dude too and did not fuck him. He was sad, unfortunately. I mean, don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. He can be sad. He just can't be angry. Because when niggas get angry, that's what fucks up the game. Because let me tell you why. Let's say you get flued out. You don't fuck boy. He get all mad and start acting weird and shit. Now, when I slide in your DM and try to fly you out, now you're gonna be like, I don't know if this dude crazy. Like, I literally have multiple women tell me that like, they had dudes fly them out, and when they didn't give them no ass or whatever, they just started like tripping. So fellas, I'm gonna tell y'all, stop. Oh, Jasmine wanna get in? Oh shit, Jasmine wanna get in? I wanna hear this story. Hold on, I'm trying to add you in now.
Hi, good morning.
Story time for the tea.
Listen, I had to add myself because a lot of stuff you hitting on is facts, all facts. Let's go back to the Neiman Marcus and the Nordstrom and the TJ Maxx. Let me tell you, you right. Guys will know they cannot afford you. But let's say, oh, they know how to clean the house. Oh, they are good cooks. Oh, they don't have kids, but they'll go and get your kids from school, or they'll do this and do that with your kids. But yet they forget, oh, let me remember how I met her or how I got her. No, that little stuff that you're doing, buddy, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sound ungrateful, but as a single mother, the stuff that you're trying to lighten up for me, and I'm only not looking in the camera, y'all, because I just woke up.
No, you good. I'm loving this. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead, queen.
So he had to realize, like, damn, I didn't want to feel ungrateful, but it's like I didn't ask for you to help or do nothing with the kids, or I didn't ask for nothing. Really, you came to me and you thought, oh, I can't support her financially, or I can't do this or do that, but let me get her, let me show her this, let me capture her with this. I'm not that type of woman. And this is the same person that went to Puerto Rico with me. We went to Puerto Rico, and no, we did not have sex. And I did tell him before the flight that we, like, don't think, like you said, that woman said, don't think flying me out. Go. Let me just finish up, and I'm going to get back in your comments.
Oh, you good.
So, yeah, like, I never led him on, never told him. To me, that sounds ungrateful. Just a small thank you. Oh, I never said I didn't say thank you. I was very appreciative.
Right.
But if you
but you felt his energy is like, like, I don't feel like this trip is just strictly genuine. I think he has like an agenda.
Oh, it was definitely an agenda. And then you said for you to get angry, like, wait, you upset about some cat though? Like, we in beautiful ass Puerto Rico. Like, let's get a vibe. You half the time we're not even in the Airbnb, first of all, to be fucking. So
right.
Like, it was just, yeah, I have to speak on that. But
and the thing is, if he didn't act like that, you probably would have fucked him as soon as you got home.
No cap. Exactly.
Dickhead.
Be cool. Like, let things fall into place. But that thirsty stuff, I'm not with that. Prime example. We out at, and this the same guy, unfortunately, because I did stay. Now, I did stay. He could not get me over with what he can do in the house or charms or whatever, okay? But we have, so our friends on them. I would just say that. Like, I like him as a friend. I love him as a friend. And I never was misleading. So, go fast forward. We could be out, like, he could be helping me Instacart or something, and this nigga would be like, can I get some of you tonight? Like, what? What the fuck? We don't even do that. Like, that is a turn off. If I want to give it to you, like, let that shit happen. It's 11:30 in the morning.
No, you know what niggas do? You know what niggas do? And I see it because girls show me their text messages. Y'all could be talking about fucking Dora the Explorer. And he's like, hey, you want to give me some of that ass tonight? You be like, what?
Exactly. You just threw me off.
Yo, dude, so gotta say that, fellas. The vibe has to be there before you start negotiating and being honest. If y'all talking about fucking some random shit I see on TV, you can't just be like, yeah, so you gonna pull up and suck this dick tonight? They gonna be like, what? Like,
excuse me? Facts, you speaking all facts. I'm gonna get back in your comments.
Yes,
If
yes.
I feel like I need to talk to you one-on-one like this, I'm gonna jump back on.
yes, I love this. I love this. Listen, that's the only reason I said what happened to Kevin, because I like the topics that this brings up. Because I'm never on some bashing women shit. I'm always trying to be like, yo, I want us to understand each other.
Exactly.
We want to help these niggas learn.
Really had these conversations with people, so yeah, I'm a new follower to you for sure. Like, we can talk about this type of stuff all day because it's real stuff that happens. Like, weird as hell. So yeah, it's unfortunate because the guy was cool and stuff, but it's just all of that. I'm not attracted to him sexually. That's just that.
Right.
That sums up everything. We can take all the trips in the world and kick it. I'm the type of female, if I'm not attracted to you, I know men have needs. Go get that bitch you see. If we out in the bar and you like a bitch, go. Please don't let me stop you from meeting somebody that might treat you better than me. Please don't. Drea, oh my God, my friend Drea on here, Miss Jigglypuff. She know exactly who I'm talking about. I gotta go. See you. It was nice talking to you.
See ya. Yo, and that was another woman that confirmed it. That's another woman that confirmed it. They know they want to fuck you from the gate, and if they're not willing to fuck you, they'll let you go do your thing. That literally the second time I heard that. Like women know. Women know, like, yo, if I'm not looking to have sex with you, I know you have needs. I'm not gonna be no selfish bitch. Go do you. However, if I ever decide to change my mind, then we can revisit our agreement. And that's another thing, guys. Agreements change. Your relationship can start one way and then go this way and then go that way. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can start off dating, then become friends, they get a relationship, then break up again, become friends. Like, relationships are a spectrum. But no, to go back to the fellas, man, because like I said, y'all fucking up the game. I'm gonna just tell y'all this, look. Be straight up. Now, let's say the shorty be like, well, if you fly me out, you know, I'm not letting you fuck or whatever. Be like, cool, no problem. If the vibe is there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. No pressure. What you do is, you go hop your ass on Tinder, do some swipe left, some swipe right, no matter of fact, Hinge. Hop your ass on Hinge. Line yourself up with a couple beautiful ladies. So now, if the vibe isn't there, the shit don't go right, now you don't feel like you just wasted all this bread. Oh, all right, cool. Well, hey, you know, we'll have fun, good time or whatever. But, you know, clearly we're not vibing. I'm going to meet up with somebody else. And because you were honest, she's like, cool, because I didn't feel that vibe with you either. Go do you. I will help you get that girl. See, what you guys have to understand, man, like honesty, this eliminates so much fucking issues, man. And like a woman said earlier, all that you think, I'm gonna keep flying her out, I'm gonna keep buying her shit. Let me tell y'all something, right? The only way you could buy yourself into pussy is if she tells you how much it costs. I'm gonna say it again. The only way you can buy yourself into pussy is she tells you how much it costs. Don't ever think, oh, once I buy her this is going to guarantee me ass. Or because now that's a prostitute. When you're having sex for a direct currency exchange, that is prostitution. If you want prostitutes, fellas, there's a whole bunch of them in DR. Come have at them. But if you want women that are not prostitutes and not fucking for money, you might got to take a few L's that you might go on a trip that the shorty might not fuck you on. I was literally just with a doctor down here yesterday. Sat and chilled in my hotel room all night, didn't have sex. Because she's not a prostitute. That's you guys. And look, This is no shade. This is no shade at the women that, you know, you might suck a little dick, get $100 here and there. Look, baby, do you. Go make your money. Some of my best friends here are prostitutes. However, I do not want them. You know what I'm saying? I want the woman that you got to put a little bit. You got to think about it, right? Men with the same mouth will try to fuck the girl the same night, but then call her a whore when she fucks the first night. That's what I don't understand. Y'all call these women whores when they fuck the first night, but you get mad at them when they don't fuck the first night. Which one do you want? Do you want a girl that fucks every nigga? Because one thing, nigga, you're not special. You're not special. She met other get money niggas before. Like, you're not special. You know what I'm saying? You're not special. But just understand, like, yo, like, $100. Listen, I don't know. I don't know if I'm saving for another live, but I think the lowest a woman ever directly. Well, you know what? I asked her. I said, if I never gave you that $100, would we had still had sex? She said yes, but the $100 sped it up. So let's talk about that. There are some women that are willing to let you tag, but the money speeds it up. So she might have said in her head, like, y'all let him tag and all that, but I'm gonna wait a little bit. Sometimes when you spin the bag, it speeds it up. Only, like I said, only if she was already going to do it anyway. So fellas, just no, you cannot talk yourself in the pussy. You cannot buy yourself in the pussy unless it's a prostitute, because women are emotional. Women are emotional. Women are emotional. It don't work that way. You can't just hand them $100 and they pussy get wet. It don't work that way with them. And the ones that do that are prostitutes. Just make sure you know the difference. And just know, if you want entitled sex, if you want sex that, oh, I took her out on a date, she gotta let me fuck afterwards. I dropped $100 at the bar, she gotta let me fuck afterwards. I flew her out, she gotta let me fuck afterwards. Then focus on prostitutes, because you will fuck every single time without even having to fly them out. Just give them the money. Look, you can even skip the dinner and the trip and just fucking cash app them and they right over. But the ones that want a good vibe, the ones that are emotional, you gotta be patient, bro. You gotta be patient. You might fuck the first night, you might fuck the first week, you might not fuck in 3 months. But are you looking for a vibe? Are you looking for a woman that you can build with and get some things done with? Or are you just trying to run through a bunch of bitches? Because I'm telling you, like, some of y'all fellas, y'all think y'all want A, but y'all really want B. You say, I want a good girl, I want a girl that's a whore, this, that, and the third, but that's all you expect from them when you actually get them. So me, I had to pick and choose my battles. This is what I said. If I meet a woman, this is real facts. If I meet a woman and she says she's celibate, or, you know, she want to wait for us to have sex, I am okay with that, as long as she knows that I'm going to be still doing my thing with other women. And then once she decides to have sex with me or not be celibate anymore, then we can renegotiate our agreement. Yeah, what you trying to do? You gotta exactly. That's all it is. That's all it is. Cause fellas, you're fucking up the game right now. Y'all fucking up the game right now. I'm gonna give fellas more advice, right? Don't be afraid to travel to meet your queen. Don't be afraid to travel to meet your queen. I think in my whole life, I had maybe 2 girlfriends from my home city. 2. As an adult, I only had 2 women from my home city. The rest was fucking Vegas, Toronto, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Miami, Houston. I'm telling you guys, travel. You have technology, and you got the flights open. Listen, your husband, your wife might be in Louisiana somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You go on Hinge. I don't really like Tinder. Tinder is like a straight up, like, you trying to fuck or what type joint. But Hinge, try different cities. Put in New Orleans. Put in LA. You might connect with somebody. It might be like, hey, you know, you want to get lunch one day? Now you got a reason. Now you got a reason to go see a new city. You got a reason to go travel, have a new experience, And hey, you never know. You might just meet your person. Your person might not be in your city. It's 8 billion people out here. Your person might not even be in your city. Your person might not even be in your country. You know? Jesus Christ, that's a lot of relationships. Oh yeah, I'm very experienced. I'm very experienced. You know, I'm very experienced. I mean, I'm almost 30. I'm an attractive male, and I'm a cuff daddy. I'm a cuff daddy. Like when I really like, I'm really into a woman and stuff like that. I'll be like, yo, I don't want to just fuck anymore. I want you to be with me, and that's that. I never asked any of my girlfriends to be in a relationship with me. I just told them. I just said, yo, you're my girl now. Like that's something I probably gotta fix. But like I never asked a woman to be my girlfriend. It always just told. You know what I mean? Men can't afford that. Well, what you guys have to understand is every relationship is not the same. Every dynamic is not the same. Every girlfriend I had, I didn't pay all their bills. You know what I'm saying? Every relationship I was in, because then we got to look at what is a relationship. What is the definition of a boyfriend and a girlfriend? Because if a definition of a boyfriend and a girlfriend is two people who go out to eat and have fun and fuck, shit, I've been in a lot of relationships. And then when people say how many committed relationships you've been in, that also can go up for perception, because what is commitment? Commitment is you my primary and I can still do my thing, or is primary I'm only dealing with you? Because look, I have a primary cell phone. That doesn't mean I don't have two. You know what I'm saying? Not all men can afford it. Can you say this live? You eating out here, need a future reference. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Future album got me hyped up, man. You know every time Uncle Future drop, you know what I mean? We gotta come get the game. To maintain out of state relationships. Oh yes. Maintaining out of state relationships is difficult. However, I love to travel. Like I always try to find a reason to travel. That's why I like meeting friends in different cities. 'Cause I can be like, yo, I never been to Detroit before. Let me fly there, you know? Off topic, but important, please don't drink Red Bulls. Kevin Samuels did on every live, and most likely, yes, I agree. We were just talking about that. I would never drink it. I think the worst energy drink I consumed was like the Mountain Dew one. But them energy drinks, like they don't even like, it tastes like it's something not supposed to be in there. You know what I mean? But here's the thing though, right? So people say what they can and can't afford, right? I work harder so I can afford to do things like that. So for example, right? I want to travel around the world and have different experiences, so I buy that course. I'm not complacent. See, that's another thing, fellas. You can afford anything you want, but you just have to decide, is that what's important to you? Is that what's important to you? See, me, what's important to me is traveling, is traveling and good relationships, honestly. Travel, good relationships, and security. If I can get those three things, I'm straight. Now to the ladies, right? Now, ladies, it's gonna be a lot harder for you. So I ain't going Kevin Samuels all to death. Shit, dudes making $40,000 a year ain't going back and forth to California for no girl. Well, here's the thing too, ladies. You got to use analytical data. Ladies, go Google where the wealthiest men live at. Go find those cities like Houston, Fort Lauderdale, Vegas, like target cities that have high income earning men. Like ain't no high income earning black man gonna be living in the sticks of swamps of Alabama. Well, then again, maybe. I don't know. I never been down there. But with ladies, it's a lot different, because women, this is what you have going against you. You have the fact that you guys have a biological clock. That biological clock is, once you hit around 35, 40, you lose half of the men who would have chose you. I'm telling you, I know you guys don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. Once you go over 35, you're going to lose half the men that desired you. Why? Because men, I will say it again, are visual. We're visual. So pretty much, we always want the youngest, nicest, tightest new thing. So even if we're your age, I'm 35, you're 35, I'm still going to have more of an attraction to a younger girl. Now, why isn't that the same way with women? Women are not turned on by young bulls. I mean, I dated a few cute cougars in my time, but most likely women that are 35, they're going older, not younger. So just understand those differences. Men prefer younger, women prefer older. It's just how it is. You know why? Women prefer older because older men are more mature, they're more financially stable, and they're good leaders. Men, we choose younger women because they're tight, everything still sits high. Like ladies, y'all don't know this, but we know this. Once y'all hit like early 30s, y'all titties start dragging. Your titties start dragging. We noticed that. But guess what? The 22-year-old Jones, them Jones still perky all up in your face. Remember, men are visual. Men are visual. That's why you see women getting boob jobs every time you turn the corner. Because, yeah, that 30 droppage is real. Now, with that being said, ladies, the only advice I can really give y'all is you might have to compromise. Ladies, you might have to date someone out of race. I'm all for interracial dating. My daughter is Puerto Rican and black, my youngest one. Ladies, you also might have to date older men. The truth is about to leak. like ladies, like I don't care if you're 30 years old, you might have to date like a 40-something-year-old man. And me, I never thought nothing was wrong with that. When people was grinding up Marquise Houston for marrying a 20-year-old, is like, hey, that's smart for her. I ain't got nothing to drop either. But no, man, ladies, I would definitely recommend you go older, because that's another thing. Older men, they might be a little bit corny. They might not know how to dress that good, and they might not be all up on the new music and the trends and the stuff like that. But you're also not going to deal with a lot of that young bullshit that you're dealing with right now. So, ladies, I would definitely advise for you to go older. Be open to dating outside your race. Be open to it. I'm not saying you have to, but be open to it. Because like I said, there's not enough black men out here. So if you're not willing to share black men, you're going to have to date outside your race. That's pretty much what the statistics is saying. Yeah, you might be the 1 out of 100 that find a good black man and everything works out well. But on a statistic, like when we're looking at numbers and facts, you might either have to date outside of your race, or if you do find a man that makes 6 figures and can do all this stuff for you, he might going to have a side piece or two. Not saying other races don't have side pieces. Shoot, Jeff Bezos Jeff Bezos was the richest man in the world and had a side piece. So even white boys do it. So ladies, when y'all think, I'm gonna go date a white boy and it's gonna be better, Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world and had a side piece. So you mean it's men, it's not black men, it's not white men, it's men, So I had this convo with my friends, and some of them said we were gold digging, but it's not about that. Go to places where you want your man to be and see. Exactly. I don't think that's gold digging at all. Listen, why do you think some of these white girls go so hard to get accepted into these Ivy League colleges and these top tier colleges? You think these white girls try to get in these colleges to get a good education? No. They're getting into this college because that's where the ballers are at. Those are where the future doctors, the future basketball players, the future lawyers. I literally met women who became doctors just so she could marry a doctor. I met women who became lawyers just to meet lawyers and not be a lawyer no more. So, ladies, just, make sure y'all fishing in the right pond. Because think about it, ladies. If you don't try to get out of your comfort zone, you're going to keep running into the same men all the time. You might notice that you like dudes from Alabama better. You might know that you like dudes from Chicago better. Me personally, if I had to choose a city that I like the best, I would probably say New York. I think New York women accents are so fucking dope. I love how they talk. It's like I feel like every like New York girl like talk like she's rapping. Like, I feel like every time I talk to a New York girl, I feel like she about to spit something real quick. I love how they talk. Yeah, like that's just my preference. That's my preference. Like it ain't black, white, Latino. I like the culture. I like the culture of New York. And guess what? You might travel somewhere else. Yo, I like how these Tennessee niggas get down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not just about race. It's about culture. It's about geographic. It's about where these people at. Because people in Philly do not act like people in Memphis. And people in Memphis do not act like people in Las Vegas. And people in Las Vegas do not act like people in Chicago. Right? Down south women are lit. Now, if I had to pick a down south city, I would probably say Baton Rouge. Fellas, if you want a good, home-kept Southern belle, I promise to God, go to Baton Rouge. Those women are some of the most sweetest, house-trained Southern girls I ever met in my life. So, yeah, this dropped that little jewel on y'all. Baton Rouge. Like Louisiana, period. My aunt's friend told me she doesn't have to suck dick because her pussy is good. She alright. It was then I understand that women want but don't want to give, and also why she's most likely not married. I honestly thought that was like played out. I thought all women give head now. Like I don't remember getting told that in a while. I thought that's like mandatory. Down south women are already wives. You ain't gotta help them. There is some truth to that. So the reason why down south women are like that is because of how they're raised. They're raised in very small communities, very small towns. A lot of the southern slave cultures transferred over, like like the cooking and farming and stuff like that. And then, like, I feel like black people in general in the South have their own identity. Like, I could never compare the South to the North. I feel like the South, they have their own culture, their own ways of doing things, and I feel like it's a little bit more, like backdated to what our culture comes from. But I don't know. I don't know every woman in the world, bro. Hell no, bro. A lot of women don't be giving us. Oh yeah, nah. I ain't with that. No sir, no sir. But listen, y'all. I think we had a really good stream. I think I've been on here for 3 hours. But the reason I was so excited to do this, because for a long time, I feel like on social media, I've been trying to kind of find how I want to deliver myself. But I've been overthinking. Like, I honestly, y'all, I be so scared of getting canceled or people blocking me or trying to get my business shut down. I be really scared sometimes to get on. Like, y'all remember my Instagram used to get shut down every fucking week when I do a live. And I used to be scared to really like be real and speak my truth and shit like that. But now, because I'm also streaming on YouTube, I'm trying to push everybody to YouTube. Now, I want to give you guys everything. The fact that I was able to build a multi-million-dollar credit repair company, how I was able to grow $1 million marketing company, how I'm able to live in a country where I speak Spanish and be able to have the time of my life working from home. Like I feel like this is so much I want to put out there, but I want to put it out there with no filter. Cause I feel like if I put everything I do out there with no filter, y'all gonna know it's real. All this, edited videos and bust down chains and all that, I don't want to do that no more. I don't see me. Well, I definitely wouldn't wear my jewelry down in the yard, but I'm not on that no more because I want y'all to see my real authentic self. This is how I dress on a regular basis. I don't be in Louis and Gucci and shit every day. I got it, but I don't wear it. You know what I mean? I bought it because I thought I needed to have it, but that's what I wanted y'all to see. It's so many fake ass fucking gurus and fake mentors and fake experts and shit like that. Listen, I just literally sat on live for 3 hours and told y'all my fucking family court issues, my relationship issues, whatever. We family now. And now, hopefully, I gained that trust from y'all when I give y'all that real game on the cryptocurrency, on the real estate, on the credit. Y'all know I ain't bullshitting y'all, because there's a lot of dudes out here capping. There's a lot of dudes out here capping. I'm honestly, that's what kind of took my motivation away from posting on social media, because there's so many fucking frauds out here. Like, yo, I could show y'all my DMs just of all the message requests I got, and it just be like, yo, is Instagram even a social media platform anymore? Or if it's just a bunch of people just trying to finesse? A lot of IG cat, bro. It's way different, bro. It's way different. Like, no, let me tell you something crazy about Instagram. I seen influencers who were on the news. I'm not going to say their names. I seen influencers that were on the news for scamming black people in their own community. Got blasted on Shade Room, all that stuff like that. They turn off their comments for a few days or a few weeks. Then everybody forgets, and now they back to making money on Instagram. This shit is crazy. That you can literally get on Instagram, be a fraud, scam a bunch of people, get exposed for it, but as long as your content is good enough and you keep making content, then everybody's going to forget. That's why I don't care about cursing on here. I don't care about talking about taboo subjects, because at the end of the day, you got these scammers on here doing everything they fucking want. Everything they fucking want. And be lying. So guess what? I'm going to do everything the fuck I want and be real about it. Because I just can't. Like, honestly, like, that's one of the reasons I like to stay in other countries. Because I can't deal with all the people in competition with each other and people just trying to bring other people. I'm not with that no more. I'm not with that, man. So yeah, what happened to Kevin? Just to wrap this up, Kevin, it is confirmed he did pass away on yesterday evening. From what, I'm not sure. We gotta wait till the autopsy come back. But rumors are saying that Kevin died from a heart attack. And the reason I did this streaming, I did this live, because I wanted to speak on a lot of the controversial topics he spoke on. And I also wanted y'all to get more of an insight into who I am, you know, how I live my life, how I run my businesses, my relationships. So now y'all know I'm a real person just like y'all. And if I can make $1 million, if I can make even $100,000, you can too. All right, guys. So it's been 3.5 hours. Let me go eat. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.